Blank check with Griffin and David. Blank check with Griffin and David. Don't know what to say or to expect. All you need to know is that the name of the show is Blank Check.
I have run out of time. I have lost it all, so I can't work fast enough to catch up. I can't run fast enough to catch up, and the only thing that catches me up is doing my podcast.
What a monologue.
What a monologue.
Oh, I'm getting chills.
I
might watch it again tonight.
Yeah, you'd love this movie.
Your criteria is so far up your ass, you can't see daylight.
Well, you're making it sound very, like, Muggsy.
Yeah, right. I am the last guy in the world you want to fuck with.
Yeah, you want to pinch me, but I ain't ever going to be pinched.
What are you doing in your life that's so terrific?
The IMDb quotes page has the entirety of the adoption
screenplay?
Agency.
Oh, yeah, that's so good.
It's the longest quote I've ever
You're
seen
from
on
the
IMDb.
suburbs,
Yeah.
right? There's that whole thing.
You didn't grow up in a green 4x4? Is that what he says? Yeah, let me look at the
I got some
actual line.
ABC type information for you, lady. I was state raised, and this is a dead place.
Yeah.
I related to that.
Oh, my God.
What about this one? I wear $150 slacks. I wear silk shirts. I wear $800 suits. I wear a gold watch. I wear a perfect, D-flawless 3-carat ring. I change cars like other guys change their fucking shoes. I'm a podcast. I've been in prison, all right?
That is so good. God, if James Caan yelled that at me, I would both break up with him and have an orgasm at the same time. I'd be like, you're a problem, but also, holy shit.
Yeah.
You're revving my engine.
You're making big profits from my work, my risk, my sweat, but that's okay because I elected to make that deal. But now the deal is over. I want my podcast and I am out.
My money in 24 hours or you will wear your podcast for a hat. You're talking to me or someone else walk in this room?
You're marking time is what you are. You're backing off. You're hiding out. You're waiting for a bus that you hope never comes because you don't want to get in it anyway because you don't want to podcast anywhere. Okay?
Oh, God, let's just read the screenplay.
This is some of the best dialogue we've ever covered on this show.
Yeah.
And it makes me...
He is such an underrated dialogue guy. Like, people sort of forget that.
Well, you know what's weird about this guy who we're talking about? Have we set the timer?
Get that clock rolling, baby.
We got a clock in the corner. Ben purchased a clock.
Ben, what's going on with the clock?
Ben, where's the clock? You getting tight with the clock. You trying to pinch this clock?
I was sneaky and I took 10 minutes out.
Oh.
What?
Why'd you do that?
Just to try and get you guys to be...
No, but you see, we know this.
You think you were going to trick me into believing that we've already been talking for 13 minutes?
Get out of here.
Yes, I did.
You're trying to pinch me?
Yeah, I am.
My money in 1 hour and 47 minutes, so you will wear your ass for a hat.
Okay, all right. You don't have to get aggressive.
Back up. Started at 2.
I am not starting it back up.
Started at 2.
No.
Thief.
Hello, everybody. This is Blank Check with Griffin and David.
That's right.
It's a podcast about filmographies.
Mm-hmm.
Directors who get massive success early on in their careers experience a series of blank checks. I switch the words experience and get.
Fair enough.
Make whatever crazy passion projects they want. Sure. Sometimes those checks clear, and sometimes they bounce, baby. And this is, of course, a miniseries called The Cast of the Podhekins.
I guess
by default. All his other titles are like one word and they don't work.
Yeah, I was kind of pitching you on like doing one of his TV movies like LA Takedown or the Jericho Mile, but even those aren't very good.
Podcast Lateral.
Podlateral
cast doesn't work. You'd have to do podcast lateral. The answer is we're doing the cast of the Podhekins.
I know, it's just annoying because it's like we're Mohicans.
It feels a little dicey. But here's the alternate title for this miniseries. As David takes a sip.
My lemonade.
Here's the alternate title for this miniseries. Michael Mansplaining.
I mean, we are men.
And we're
two ends.
You're going to start explaining this filmography hard.
I guess so.
This is your guy. This is your Tim Burton. I grew up in a dark little corner.
Oh, God.
And you grew up...
I grew up in the city.
Fantasizing about men making tough decisions.
God, men who have to make decisions that are hard. Oh, my God. They got a job to do.
They're trying to fight the system.
I guess so, but
I got skills.
I look out for me.
I got my skill.
Yeah, he's got his
my magic act.
Why do I love Michael Mann? Why do I love him?
Because you love bureaucracy.
Yeah,
or you love stories about bureaucracy.
Yeah,
when did
it
start, David? What was like your first couple of Mann films?
When did I become a man? I'm pretty sure the first Michael Mann movie I saw was The Insider. I was 13.
Interesting. Okay.
I maybe had seen. I can't remember when I saw Heat.
Yeah.
If I saw Heat around there.
The Insider
when
was
I'm
when you
becoming a teen.
Yeah, sure.
But The Insider I saw for like Oscar purposes. This was a big movie.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to see this movie with this like Russell Crowe performance everyone's talking about.
And 99,
right?
A big year for film. I mean, that was like a year that was like an activator for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's the only year we're allowed to talk about. It's getting discussed. There's a lot of 99 stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I saw The Insider, and I just remember being like, well, Crowe is really good in that, which he is.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. But also, like, what was up with that movie with, like, the weird opera score and those, like, long shots of him, like, sitting in a chair and, like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Here's the thing that I find interesting about Michael Mann that I was thinking a lot while watching Thief. The film we're discussing today, his debut film. What Ben argues is perhaps the best debut film we've ever covered on the show.
Well,
you were saying one of the best debut films you've ever seen.
Yes, because I'm not the biggest film buff.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've really visited many directors' first features
Outside of this podcast.
Sure, right. So I
where
think,
we always covered the debut feature.
Right. To my own sort of dismay.
We're
But this one's good.
Yes.
I loved it. I think this, is the best. One of the best debuts.
This
I've
is a
seen.
very Ben movie.
Like Mean Streets is, I guess, the other one that comes to mind.
That's not a debut, though.
That's not his debut.
But
He
it's
had like
early.
4 films before that.
Yeah,
that was his
exactly.
breakthrough.
That's the thing. Often you get your breakthrough movie, but after you made a couple of maybe trashy movies.
Right.
Or,
Mean Streets was his Sixth Sense. It was his Matrix. It was the one where it connects.
But here, that's what I want to go through.
I mean, Bound is the other one that stands out to me.
Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Bound.
Okay, Bound.
But this is why I want to go through it.
Okay.
Praying with Anger. Whatever. Bound fucking rules.
Yeah.
Right? Bound's great.
Owns.
Say Anything.
Sexy.
A strong debut.
Very strong debut.
Who else we got here? ... Yeah. Piranha to the Spawning. Forget it.
Perfect. Masterpiece.
Let's see.
I'm so angry that Joe Dante got knocked out of March Madness because then we could have covered Piranha 1.
I know, we could have covered all our Piranha bases.
Yeah. Well, until we do our Alexandra Aja filmography miniseries and cover Piranha.
That's when we're really. That's when we're really. 3 years past our sell-by date or whatever. Alexander, no. There's a lot going on here.
There's stuff going on here. Hills Have Eyes 2 is kind of an interesting film.
Violent.
Yeah, maybe he only made one. Go on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We didn't do Spielberg's debut. No, Following.
Yeah.
The Loveless. These are movies that are more like
interesting
flavors of something cool to come later. We didn't do Verhoeven's debut.
Right.
Terms of Endearment.
A good movie.
Yeah, that's a strong debut. So we've covered some good debuts.
We have.
The Iron Giant, good debut.
Ooh.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Pushing Hands, that's more in the latter category.
Yeah.
The Parent Trap, solid.
Yeah.
It's a non-base double.
Uh-huh.
And then Pee-wee's Big Adventure is a good debut. So we've done some good ones. So is this the best one we've covered on this podcast? Maybe not. I don't know.
It's not my favorite. It's definitely Ben's favorite.
Yeah.
It's so my kind of movie. It's just scummy,
neon noir.
If you put your hand through the air, it would come back all sweaty.
There's a film.
Sweaty, little greasy, a little gritty.
A lot of great jackets.
This is
a lot of great hand and pocket acting, which I love.
It is wet, baby.
It's wet.
My favorite thing
I'd say it's damp.
This is what's his name? Come on, David. Is it Roger or Robert?
Robert Prosky's his debut film.
Acting, film acting debut,
right.
TV acting debut, and screen
debut.
No.
He had TV credits before this.
I don't think so.
Yes, he did. I looked it up last night because someone tweeted at us about you posted it on Letterboxd, and now everyone knows we're covering Michael Mann.
How dare I, honestly?
How dare you? We've had a talk about this and you refused.
Okay, all right. I guess they weren't on his Wikipedia, but if you go to his...
He had TV credits, but even then, he's 51 in this movie.
Right.
This is his first movie.
Yeah.
His first TV credit is only 8 years earlier.
Yeah, it's in the 70s.
I mean, he didn't get on camera until his 40s.
He had
essentially
the year before. He had done. I was look. I did a deep dive into Prosky.
Prosky fucking rules.
Is the best, and I just watched The Natural, which I've never seen.
Yeah.
Which he's incredible. He's always good.
Another Joe Dante, we would have been able to cover his vampire character.
He's vampire.
In Gremlins 2.
Oh, that's right. That's him.
He plays a vampire late-night monster movie TV host like Vampire who wants to be a newscaster.
Grandpa. And he's in Broadcast News, which he's really good in. I'm trying to think of if we've done any other Proskies. He's in what Ben, of course, knows is the most quotable movie of all time.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's correct.
He's the boss in Mrs. Doubtfire. The famous...
Oh, sure.
Scene with the 2 dinners at the same time.
He's in Miracle on 34th Street, but offensively is not playing Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially because in his later years, he grew a big white beard and he basically was Santa Claus.
Yeah, let me tell you something, kid. I'm going to get you fucking presents.
It's the thing.
I'm going to get presents. I'm going to bring down your chimney. I'm going to slide down that chimney so fucking hard. And those boxes are going to be there, and you better want those boxes.
He's in that Last Action Hero, so if we ever get to McTiernan,
Yeah.
We should get to McTiernan.
We should get to McTiernan.
Prosky.
And also, what a good name to say.
Robert Prosky.
I've been talking about this
His
with
real
you
name
guys.
is like Proskichik. He's like a Polish guy.
But Prosky's still a good, hard name.
Yeah.
He didn't change it to Robert Johnson.
Robert Good Actor.
Yeah.
What if you did that? That's your pseudonym.
Robert Good Actor?
Yeah, Griffin Good Actor.
I was getting some Ben vibes, like I'm going to look like him when
From
I get
Prosky?
older.
Well, I was going to say,
go on.
I've been talking about this with you guys, but I'm like very frustrated with being 30.
Right, you want to be 55. You mean like...
I feel like whenever the tick ends, and hopefully by the time this episode comes out, my show has not been canceled.
Sure.
But whatever the tick ends, I'm going to be stuck in a fallow period until I start looking like Dennis Franz. And then I think I'm going to pop. Like, I just look at, like, when I look at, like, fucking Kevin Dunn and Robert Prosky and Dennis Franz.
Prosky and Franz both came out of Hill Street Blues. So those are 2 Hill Street Bluesers.
And people are going to go, like,
maybe you should revive
you're not
Hill
a
Street
Robert
Blues.
Prosky type.
Yeah, Prosky's a pretty broad guy.
But here's my argument, okay? First of all, I think I'm going to balloon.
Oh, jeez. Like, you're going to hit 30 and then suddenly...
I'm 30
you
now.
You just hit 30. You just hit 30.
I think, like, 35, I'm going to be, like, full, like, only, like, horseshoe hair, body like a dumpling, protruding eye bags.
You're going to be a little pot sticker.
I think give me 5 years and I'm going to look like a little hairy pot sticker. And the other thing is you go, oh, these guys, these are tough street guys. First off, I'm downtown Griffey Nooms. I grew up on the hard streets of Greenwich Village, okay? I know the streets. I know streets. Here's another thing. What's the other thing with those guys? They're frustrated. They're tired. They're giving up. They're fast talkers. These are all things I got. You know what I'm saying? And right now we're seeing them through a certain prism, which is flummoxed interns. But someone asked me recently, like, what do you want to do with your career? Like, what do you want to be doing as an actor? And I was like, I want to be like the guy behind the desk.
Yeah, you want to
like, I want to be the frustrated guy behind the desk saying the mayor's on my ass.
The mayor's on my ass.
Right, or I pinch you, you pinch me, or whatever the fucking dialogue is. So I look at Prosky and I'm just like, God, I want to look like that.
Well, in 1980, the New York Times, which is a year before Thief, wrote that Robert Prosky's performance in Death of a Salesman in regional theater, he did a lot of regional theater in Washington, D.C.
Interesting.
Quote, represented a certification of the effectiveness of the American regional theater movement.
I just got chills.
Prosky was so good.
I got chills. Holy
the Times was like,
fucking shit.
Not only is he good in this, if you see his performance, you'll be like, regional theater is good.
Yeah.
Like, like the whole thing.
I believe in drama as a concept.
It needs to be for the people.
Prosky. Can we do a Prosky miniseries?
Prosky cast.
Proscast. Pros Nixon. We bring
what if you interviewed
Nixon on.
Come on, you did it, didn't you? Tell me, you shitheel.
Talk straight to me, dick.
Come on.
Prosky.
I'll go give you equity in my laundromats.
Well, the other guy who has a film debut in this movie is Dennis Farina.
That's right.
Who falls in this category. Dennis
Farina, who was robbing the set, and then they just decided to cast him.
He was a Chicago cop.
He was a cop. He's got that push broom. You know who Farina is?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And in this movie, he's got black hair.
He does.
But
which
shortly
I've
after,
never seen.
I know, it's sort of weird.
Because the key Farina
he was born the year before. That's what he looked like as a baby.
That's why he doesn't have much dialogue in this movie, because he hadn't learned to talk yet. No, I was going to say, the classic Farina look is, he's totally gray, but the mustache is still dark.
Right.
That beautiful thing.
Fuck you, fuckball.
Right, the fucking shoe polish mustache.
Yeah.
On
so
the saw-colored
what's
hair.
his story? He was born on a leap year.
Hey.
God, is Dennis Farina a fucking mystical creature?
Dennis Farina died at the age of 18.
Born on a leap year in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
The fourth son of 7.
Mm-hmm.
His father was from Sicily.
Yeah.
His mother, a homemaker, according to Wikipedia. That's all they got.
A sausage.
Right.
His mother was a nice bratwurst. Grew up in Old Town Chicago.
Right.
Served in the Vietnam War.
Yes.
And then served for 18 years in the burglary department of the Chicago PD.
Right. So Mann brings him on as a consultant for this.
Cop consultant.
Because Mann, obviously, he loves the details. I think
even before this, I think maybe for like a TV movie they may take it, maybe with Jericho Mile, like, you know.
Sure.
He was a crime consultant.
Well, we'll get to the Mann backstory in a second.
You know, we got to do Prosky A, Farina B, then Mann we can talk about. Thief.
He brings Farina on.
I feel so good to not be talking about Tim Burton.
Yeah, okay.
That one shot early on where Khan sits down next to the guy who's fishing, and there's like a backlit shot of him, like, you know, looking out of the water. I was like, look at this, just 2 people. And they're nice. It's great.
And they're nice.
Oh,
that's not how anyone else would describe Thief. And they're nice.
It's a nice movie.
Nice boys.
This is about nice people,
This is
right?
a movie about nice boys.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to find this Michael Mann quote that I love. But Danny Trejo is another example of this, where Danny Trejo was actually a convict.
Sure.
And then they brought him on as like a consultant. Maybe for Heat? Is that possible?
There's this whole world that's built around Eddie Bunker, that guy who wrote that book, who's Mr. Blue in Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
And like all these guys, like Trejo knew him.
Right.
Mann consulted with him for the Jericho Mile. Like,
right.
He's the guy who's sort of like, hey, you should meet my friend Danny. And Danny's like, hola, how you doing? You know, and it's like, wow, this guy needs to be in a movie. Like, look at him.
Right. They would get these guys who had been on one side or the other of crime. And we're in it, and guys like Michael Mann would be like, I need verisimilitude. Like, I want the details to all be right. I want the language to be right. I want it to feel right.
Right. And in this movie, he just like hired thieves and was like, bring your equipment.
Yeah.
We're just going to use it.
But then these guys would be such interesting characters that they'd be like, you know what? We're going to put you in the movie and give you a thing to do. And like Danny Trejo was just a convict.
He was.
And Dennis Farina was just a cop. And then both of them became like incredible movie stars.
I'm going to give you the Trejo story. He was working as he'd been in prison, and then he was working as a youth drug counselor.
Okay.
And a teenage patient was dealing with cocaine problems. On the set of the Eric Roberts film Runaway Train, there was cocaine on that set?
Weird.
In 1985?
Weird.
I don't think that this must be untrue.
Have I ever
I'm going to call Wikipedia angrily. You're telling me an Eric Roberts film in the 80s with who else? Who's the other? John Voight?
Oh boy.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Have I ever told you the Eric Roberts Burt Young story?
I don't know.
I heard from like a Teamster.
So. Sure.
I might save that for later in the episode.
Great. And so Trejo was brought to the set.
It was Heat, right?
No, it's Runaway Train.
Oh, Runaway Train.
And Eddie Bunker, who was already working on that set, who's another guy, an ex-con who wrote like crime fiction, was I was in jail with you.
Right.
And Trejo's like, yeah, sure. And he's like, do you want to train Eric Roberts in boxing? And he was like, yeah, sure. And that's how he...
Right. So Trejo ended up on set just because he was like a sober companion to the kid?
Yes.
Amazing.
Exactly. Crazy, right?
It's crazy. Farina fucking rules. And I'm trying to find this Mann quote that a bunch of people ran when Farina died. Because he died tragically... A little too young.
Somewhat young. 69.
And it was like an embolism or something. Like it was sort of not a freak, but like a very sudden death.
Pulmonary embolism, as you say, 2013.
My phone is dying. My phone's at that stage where it just doesn't work.
Charge it.
It's not because of the battery. It's,
okay.
I'm saying dying
it's just like your phone's just too old.
I'm just pushing the home button and nothing's happening. But there's this Michael Mann quote where he was like, I just thought the guy was so interesting. And thank you. Ben's handing me his phone. I'm going to try to get this exact quote because it's so good that I don't want to paraphrase it.
Sure.
Okay, so here's the quote. So, like, Mann falls in love with Farina, right?
Right.
And then he gives him a much bigger role in Manhunter.
Right.
And then he makes a TV show based around him, Crime Story.
Right, which is good.
Yes.
Good show.
I tried watching it when I was 14 and...
Too young. No.
Way too young. It's now streaming for the first time.
Yeah, you can only watch that when you are Robert Prosky aged.
Right. I'm getting there.
Yeah. No, it's a good show. I think 2 seasons. It didn't run very long, but it's great.
And a lot of people credit it. And I mean, Mann's TV work in general as sort of being the early stages of the TV era we live in now. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But Michael Mann was interviewed about Dennis Farina for some profile because obviously he was one of his muses. And they asked Michael Mann what makes Dennis Farina so captivating as an actor. And Michael Mann's quote to the Miami Herald was, "It's a mystery to me because I know him so well and I think he's so fucking ugly." When we had these casting meetings, a couple of guys would say, "Well, I don't know if he's good looking enough." And there would be some women there and they'd say, "Are you kidding? To tell you the truth, I think women sense his gentleness. He's a real gentle guy."
There are 2 left turns there.
We paused the recording for 90 seconds so I could get that because that's an incredible quote.
Incredible quote.
For someone to say about their friend, "I think he's so fucking ugly." And then I think the end of that quote, he goes, "But I don't know, women seem to like him."
No, beyond that, women like him. And he's like, it's because he's gentle.
Yeah.
Not like that. That's not what I thought you were going to say.
The idea that like Michael Mann in a casting room full of guys would be like, we all agree, this guy's fucking butt ugly, right?
He's got a face like a slab with a mustache on it.
He's got a bunch of pockmark, like acne scars on his cheeks.
Yeah.
And this fucking jet black bush broom. But let's talk about Michael Mann. Michael Mann's interesting because he doesn't feel like a guy who comes out of TV.
No, but he 100% is.
100% is. And not only that, then TV starts to follow Michael Mann's lead.
Yeah, for sure.
Slowly, TV becomes more and more like Michael Mann. Because like watching Thief, I was like, this is like the kind of like template for people making like anti-hero shows now. Like tough men, anti-hero TV shows.
You're right. He's an anti-hero you can root for.
Right.
He does bad things. Sure.
Drive too. I mean, Drive is
like
definitely very influenced
I thought
by
a stylized like thriller crime.
But this
Neon
is
noir.
so much better than Drive.
Yes. I like Drive a lot.
I like Drive too. I like it.
I mean, the other one that he...
even the font selection is
yes. The other one that Refn always cites is the Driver.
Well, that movie rules.
The Walter Hill, Ryan O'Neal movie, which
so
I've never seen.
That movie fucking rules, but that's basically like a silent movie.
Yeah.
Like, this has Khan, sort of like given a lot of character to you, whereas like Ryan O'Neal in The Driver is like, he doesn't say anything.
But that's also Gosling in Drive. The difference
that's
is
what I'm saying.
that all the supporting characters in Drive talk like facsimiles of Michael Mann characters.
Right. But they're all a little prettier.
Yes. This is the thing that I find so interesting about Mann. He is so stylized in so many ways, but his stylization is so bizarre.
Right.
That like he is as stylized as Tim Burton in terms of like what his universe is, what his aesthetics are, the themes of his work, the company of actors he uses and all of that. But it's also like the other guy I kept on thinking about watching this was Mamet.
Right.
Because it's like Chicago set stuff, right? And super verbal, like a lot of tough talk. But there's something very like flowery.
Yeah.
With Mamet. Whereas this dialogue's so straight, like it's so stripped.
Very blunt force.
It's very blunt force, and it's a lot of like, it's weirdly rhythmic.
Yeah.
Because they repeat the same words like a bunch of times in a row. It's a bunch of like short sentence fragments that all have the same word, like pinch or tight,
Mm-hmm.
And then his look obviously is like, I think a lot of his aesthetic comes by accident because he likes shooting stuff at night.
He does.
It's very hard to shoot night on film.
Right.
And he doesn't want it to look overlit. So he creates this kind of neon aesthetic of, what if the green glow at the bar is so bright that I can light the scene with that? Right. So you don't get bright white lights that take away the night vibe.
Yeah.
It's the reflections. It's the street signs.
Hell yeah.
It's the windows. It's these sort of
the reflection, on the puddles.
Yes, that sort of stuff. It's like, how do I get light sources in there? And how do I give them a weird...
Love a puddle.
A lot of puddles.
Love a pud.
But he comes so much out of TV, and especially in like crime TV, procedurals are so perfunctory at this point.
Right.
And the only style that those procedurals have is, who's the lead guy?
Right.
Columbo, Peter Falk's going to bring his own kind of vibe to it, you know? If it's Ironside, if it's Perry Mason, if it's fucking whoever, right?
Sure.
For decades and decades, it's like the lead actor kind of sets the tone, but you don't have shows that have, a real veracity They don't have a look. They don't have a different rhythm.
Well, also, as you know, it's so much about like we got to make them fast. We got to do them like churn these things out as fast as we can.
No,
there's no time to worry about setting up a shot.
I think there's one exception to that. Have you ever seen any of Johnny Staccato?
No, I've heard about it. Yeah,
which is John Cassavetes.
What a name
show.
Yeah,
right. That's like half crime show, half jazz music.
Yeah, that's like the like 59. That's like a long time ago.
He wanted to be directing his own films.
Yeah, right.
And he needed money because he would always put his own money into his movies.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'll take a TV job, but I'm going to like set out some ground rules. So he was like, I'm only in like 2/3 of the episodes. There's like another character that sometimes alternates with him. And he's like, B, I want a bunch of it to be like piano playing and stuff.
Weird.
It only ran for one season. I've never seen this.
But it's like a good batch of episodes in that one season. I've only seen a handful. It rules.
Sure.
But I wouldn't be surprised, and this is pure conjecture, that was a thing that Mann saw at a young age.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that sense of that show, which is also about kind of like these broken men. It's not a cop or detective showing how cool he is or how clever he is. It's not Kojak. It's not Columbo.
Who loves you, baby?
Michael Mann probably does.
Sure.
But this is also about the thief.
Yes.
Right? I mean, and it's sort of, isn't it sort of a turn?
Well,
thief.
He's
somewhat?
done both sides.
Yeah,
I think the key thing for him is he's interested in crime. He's interested in structures. He's interested in systems.
He likes process. He likes professionals.
And he loves tough decisions. I mean, that's the thing. All his movies are men kind of
when you're
stuck.
backed into a corner.
Right. How do you act when you're backed
around
into
the corner?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why, like, we'll get to Ali eventually.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to Ali eventually.
Sure.
But people, I think, were confused by the movie when it came out because it wasn't a conventional sports biopic.
Right,
and he was like, I'm more interested in Ali as like a political figure.
Yeah, the tough decision points in his life.
Right.
Yeah.
And just for context, I should mention to our listeners, this whole miniseries is going to be skins. We're shirtless, and we will be shirtless throughout the run.
What is this bit based in? What is this?
We're men, man. It's a menly.
Manly?
It's a manly sort of
filmography.
filmography.
Yeah, let's play that up as much as possible.
Well, we
Michael, all right, no, enough. I don't know what's going on.
2.5 Mans.
Fine.
Michael Mann.
Michael Mann.
You don't have to cut that. Michael Mann.
Keep it in and double it.
Was born in Chicago.
Chi-Town?
He was born in Chi-Town.
Okay.
He's a Russian Jew.
Love it.
His parents, Esther and Jack.
Smell the borscht.
I know. His parents, Esther and Jack, grocers.
Oh!
That's right. He went to the University of Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
And then he saw Dr. Strangelove.
Proper Midwest boy. That's weird. I would not expect that was the movie that activated Michael Mann.
That's right. I think he was basically like, the way he talks about it is like, when I saw Strangelove, I was like, oh, so you don't have to make a movie for everybody? Like, oh, you're allowed to make this?
Wouldn't it be
rather
great?
than like a big commercial, you know what I mean? Like,
wouldn't it be great if Michael Mann was like, yeah, I mean, all my comedies I've made, they're all comedies. I don't. You guys got that, right? Yeah.
Right.
That was just a bit.
Yeah.
What is his funniest movie?
His funniest movie?
Is it Heat? Is it Collateral?
I think it's Collateral.
Yeah, I guess like it's a lot of dialogue at least.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's at least got some Odd Couple energy to it.
Yeah. Not really a.
You know who his first choice was for Collateral, right? I mean, Tom Cruise, but then for
Tom
the other
Sandler.
part,
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah.
It was announced as a Sandler movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
That would have been weird.
Really
Imagine
weird.
him being direct. Well, James Caan, Sandler's idol.
Yeah.
You know?
And Sandler like cites this movie a lot.
Kind of a tough Jewish guy.
He was like, I grew up, I saw this angry Jewish guy, and that's what I wanted to be. I always want to be James Caan. He tells this story on Conan's podcast, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he needs our fucking plug. About working with James Caan on Bulletproof, and he went up to him on the Universal lot, and he was like, Mr. Caan, I just want, my entire life I want to be like you.
Right.
And James Caan says, like, bad choice, kid.
Right.
Is James Caan basically like sleaze royalty?
James Caan is fascinating because here's a movie star we've never talked about before. Ben's pointing to his head. He's very proud that his brain came up with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I remembered it.
That was what
he
said that to me earlier, and I was like,
you
got to say that on the pod.
Here's the thing that I think is very interesting about James Caan.
James Caan's father Was a butcher.
Hey!
I like that.
Slice of meat!
Yeah.
Slice of meat!
And he went to Hofstra, but he dropped out because he fell in love with acting.
But he was there with Coppola, right? They were both
went to Hofstra with Coppola.
And Laney Kazan.
Whoa.
The Wrecking Crew.
It's really crazy. He's from Sunnyside.
Yeah. And he's a German Jew.
He is a German Jew. His parents were immigrants. Yeah.
Right.
Falkenstein.
The thing I was going to say that's interesting about James Caan, and his persona is well established at this point, and this is in fact 1981. He takes a 5-year break from acting pretty shortly after this.
This movie, I think, really wiped him out. Yeah, he takes
He doesn't make a film from 82 to 87.
That's right.
Right? And it's Coppola's the one who brings him back.
Coppola brings him back for Gardens of Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal that, like, 5 years later, he was like, I thought I'm done with acting. I'm going to ride off into the sunset.
Right.
And I was a big movie star. I have enough money to last me. He realizes he's broke.
Right. That's what happens.
Right. Then he's literally living like hand to mouth. I think he's had 2 divorces at this point.
Ooh.
He's become addicted to cocaine, kicked the cocaine habit.
Wait, in the 1980s? He became addicted to cocaine?
Weirdly. In
was
Hollywood.
he on the set of Runaway Train? Sorry. Go ahead.
Talk about a runaway train.
Yep.
But he... his last movie, 1982, he walked off the set, and they had to replace him with Michael Caine. I'm forgetting. It's a thriller.
What do you mean?
His last film before he went into his self-imposed exile.
Oh, I don't know.
1982.
All right, let me look it up. Let's see.
It's a Michael Caine movie where Michael Caine replaced him. So then he had like burned all his bridges in Hollywood.
The Holcroft Covenant.
Thank you.
Doesn't sound like a barnstormer, that one.
Right. So
box office $393,000.
Coppola brings him back for Garden of Stone.
Sure.
He's only able to get 1/4 the salary he got 5 years earlier.
Right.
And they make him put up his own bond for the insurance policy because they're afraid he's going to walk off the set again.
Wow.
And then he kind of rebuilds himself in the early 90s.
Yeah,
Late 80s, early 90s.
Misery, I feel like, is the big one that gets him
Which he said he fought really hard for that part.
Right.
And no one wanted to take it because
you lie in a bed all day.
That was his thing. Yeah. He was like, every other big movie star
Right.
has too much ego to take this role.
Right.
And he like knew he needed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he has kind of like a crazy 90s.
Sure.
Into the 2000s. And then his career is like Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in with the early Star Trek movies?
No. He's not in a Trek.
He was like the villain, I thought.
No.
Come on.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What do you even...
What a horrible thing to happen.
What do you do in the wake of a thing like that?
I don't know.
What do you do?
Call the police.
You call the police. Ding dong.
Oh.
Ding dong.
Okay. Get the door. Get the door.
Should I get it? Okay.
Yeah, you get the door. Sure.
Ba ba da ba da ba dee. Yeah, da ba da. Ba da ba da bum ba ba. Yeah, da ba ba da.
Comes up with these right off the dome, folks. Who are you?
Me? No, these are written songs.
Oh. Hello?
You don't recognize my hit single? Yeah, but da.
What are you, Fred Flintstone?
No, I'm Harry Connick Jr., baby. Smoothest guy in town.
Hey.
Hey,
Harry.
I don't understand why you thought I was Fred Flintstone. I'm just doing some soft, easy listening over here. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Ribbidi-bidi. The Jetsons. Yabba-dabba-doo. Top Cat. Tom and Jerry.
Woo.
I am Harry Connick Jr.
Swallowed him in.
David just had to get a bottle of water.
That's what I had to do.
Wally Gator. Snagglepuss.
What?
What is that? These are nonsense words. I'm sort of doing jazz scatting. These are nonsense words.
Okay,
They don't mean
Harry.
anything. Goober and the Ghost Chasers. Speed Buggy. Speed Buggy Jabberjaw.
Okay.
What? Why is your producer pointing at that piece of paper?
Listen, Harry.
What?
As I recover.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay.
This is an iconic ad.
So yabba-dabba-doo.
You know how your singing is smooth?
Wow, that's a dot I was not ready to connect. It's almost like this was a perfect match.
How your singing is so smooth.
Wow, you picked up on what an incredible connection.
It's almost as smooth as shaving with Harry's.
Oh, what a nice little walk that is.
I can't believe I almost died recording this. We were 1 second away from Ben having to Heimlich me.
I was getting ready to do
Bear.
it. I just sucked them in right in. Okay.
Hong Kong Fooey.
No. Now. Wait a second. Do you know about Harry's?
Me? Yes.
Yeah, 10 million people have tried it. Okay?
Almost as many people as buy one of my albums.
I'd have to check the records on that one, but okay.
I'm still weirdly popular with ants.
No, of course. That's your
Or should
zone.
I say aunts? Or should I say adamant?
Get him out of here. Let me read this copy myself.
Scrappy
Harry's founders were tired of paying for razors that were overpriced and over-designed. Okay? They knew a great shave doesn't come from gimmicks like vibrating heads or flex balls or handles or look like spaceships.
Yeah.
They need pros.
Right.
Smooth pros.
Gimmicks like a captain who's also a caveman solving mysteries with teens. You don't need any of those gimmicks, just a smooth
Why
shave.
is this your bit?
Captain Caveman.
No, I get it.
What bit? What do you mean?
They have fixed all these problems by combining a simple, clean design with quality, durable blades at a fair price.
Oh.
They bought a world-class blade factory over in Germany that's been making quality blades for 95 years. They've gotten 20,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google, and the replacement cartridges, that's just $2 each, half the price of Gillette Fusion Pro Shield.
Secret squirrel.
These blades come with a 100% quality guarantee. They come in the mail to you. You've been harrying?
Me?
Get the little
Harry
pretty
Connick
box?
Jr.? I'm always harrying, baby.
Come on, it's a good box.
I'm harrying 24/7.
The $13 value trial set comes with everything you need for a close, comfortable, smooth shave.
Smooth.
Weighted ergonomic handle.
Hey.
5-blade razor with lubricating strip and trimmer blade.
5, like the members of the Scooby team.
Six.
Mystery. I only count humans.
Okay, a rich lathering shave gel. Well, then isn't it 4?
No, you're right. It is 5. I was right the first time.
Yeah, but then scrappy.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
A travel blade cover.
What?
That's one of the things that comes in the $13 value trial set.
Oh, so you can take it with you when you travel.
Correct.
Like for Yogi's Laugh Olympics.
So listeners of our show can redeem their trial set at harrys.com/check. Okay?
You gotta check.
It's a trial offer, $13 value trial set. You can go to harrys.com/check to redeem your offer and let them know I sent you to help support the show.
Johnny Quest.
Okay.
Herculoids.
This is officially the weirdest bit we've
Frankenstein
ever
Jr.
had. You can edit that.
Oh, I can edit it? Thanks.
Yeah, I think you can edit that one. Yeah. All right. So just Khan, he's in some movies like Rabbit Run and stuff, The Rain People.
But there are 2 things I want to say about him.
The Godfather launches him, and in the 70s
he was in The Godfather?
Yeah, he got an Oscar nomination. In the 70s, he did like The Gambler, he did Freebie and the Bean, he did Funny Lady, he did Rollerball. He did a lot of good movies.
He has a big run, and he's an angry man. And here are the 2 things.
He's got a lot of fuck you energy, right?
Right.
Sort of a simmering guy.
Yeah. So here are the 2 things I want to say about Khan that make him interesting as a movie star. 1, he was one of the early guys who was like, I fucking hate this whole racket.
Yeah, sure. Right. Yeah.
Acting's for flowers. It's all horse shit. I'm out of here. Right?
I guess so, but he also studied with Sanford Meisner.
And Scott Conn, his son, of course, Dano on Hawaii Five-0.
We all love him.
In interviews, always says
he always books him.
He's like, my dad always does that thing, but he fucking loves acting.
Of course he loves it. He dropped out of he was probably in butcher school at Hofstra. He was in the butchery department or something. And he fell in love with acting.
Right. And he was, I just like doing the improvs because I was an angry guy. I could yell at people, and all the improvs always ended in violence.
Yeah, he says that.
That's the key thing about James Caan, though, which I think is really interesting.
So he's the annoying guy at the improv class who's like, this is a stick-up.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah. I killed you. You're fucking dead.
Lie down.
Yeah. It is important to say James Caan never made Harold Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Never even made a Lloyd team. Mm-hmm. But what I was going to say more importantly is I think his key movie star trait, Ben's giving a thumbs up, this episode's a disaster.
No, it's not.
I think the key movie star trait for James Caan is self-destruction.
You want me to
self-sabotaging.
So
you know what I'm saying? He's this guy who like can't keep it together.
Of course. I mean, of course, that is Sonny Corleone's thing.
But that's the gambler. That's this character. It's these guys where it's like, whether they're on the right side of the law or not, there's a pathway for them, and they don't make it easy for themselves. And that feels like
he says Thief is his favorite movie, along with The Godfather.
Thief, The Godfather, two best movies he ever did. But don't you think like that combined with the Mann thing is like, this is starting to be the prototype for like 25 years down the line, like Sopranos and Breaking Bad,
right?
And all these shows about these like tough men with a weird element of sensitivity who keep on getting themselves deeper and deeper.
My favorite thing about Thief is that it's not about a heist that goes wrong.
Right?
Nothing goes wrong.
Nothing goes wrong.
Thief. He's a professional. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, all right, in return for your good work,
right,
I'm ready to offer you a lucrative job. And he's like, hey, fuck you, I don't work for anybody. And you're like, Jimmy.
But that's the Mann
this
thing.
This guy bought you a baby.
That's the Mann thing that becomes the cornerstone of prestige TV drama is...
He has like a tree on his shoulder, not a chip.
Right. Here are men who are incredibly good at their jobs.
Yeah.
And find a way to continually fuck themselves up and get themselves deeper and deeper.
But, you know, Heat's... Well, we'll get to Heat. He's a little different.
Incredibly good at very specific jobs.
I know, but he doesn't want to fuck himself up.
And it's the interiority of their emotional lives.
Yeah.
But the Chicago outfit is so infamous for being so corrupt and so like involved in all aspects of racket in Chicago.
Right.
And I really like, because I wasn't at first, I was also too like, damn, just take the job, man.
Sure.
But
he doesn't want to do it.
You kind of realize though that the cops are in on it and it's all this kind of loop and he's getting screwed over.
Well, that's the other thing is he makes these crime movies that are not, what's the word I'm looking for? They're stylish.
Sure.
But they're also like really kind of like violent. I'm not even talking about the violence themselves, but violent in their language, in their energy, like they're blunt.
Yeah.
You know,
but they're not like lurid, I guess is what you're saying.
No, and they're not like pulpy.
Yeah, right. They're not
like
pulpy.
He's into doing like really hard-nosed takes on pulpy material. Sure.
But he's like, all right, just before we get off con, I want to read you this from his Wikipedia. Because you're talking about self-destructive.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of things he says he's turned down.
Yes.
Turned down The French Connection.
Mm-hmm.
Turned down One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Mm-hmm.
Close Encounters.
Mm-hmm.
Kramer versus Kramer. Quote, it was middle-class bourgeois baloney.
Oh, I thought it was bullshit.
Baloney's funnier.
Even funnier. You're right.
Apocalypse Now because Coppola was like 16 weeks in the jungle and he was like, no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Blade Runner. Love Story. Superman, I didn't want to wear the cape.
Yeah. I want to wear that fucking cape.
Like, I feel like Khan is this guy where it's like a producer comes to him, he's like, great news, they want you for Superman. You're going to be Superman. You're going to fly in the air. And he's like, fuck you, I don't work for anybody.
Well, like, yeah, you've seen The Gambler, a great film written by a horrible sex criminal.
No, I've seen The Gambler, a great film starring Mark Wahlberg. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, the original Gambler is like the key to this like James Caan thing because he's playing like a sort of wealthy blue blood, like Connecticut kid who's also an intellectual and an English professor at Columbia who goes out every night and tries to ruin his life.
Right, exactly. He cannot help himself. It is a great portrayal of compulsion.
Right. And it's like, even when he like somehow wins big, he finds a way to like fuck it up for himself again. And the movie ends with him evening out and then going to a bar and like daring a guy to stab him.
Right. And then he looks in the mirror and smiles.
As his sliced face. Like he just like, he doesn't feel comfortable being even. The guy needs to sink himself lower somehow, one way or another.
But Michael Mann, before we lose that track, and then we can talk about the plot of
the fact that he's doing TV movies is so bizarre because that's like a medium where it's just like, just tell the story. Just get it out. Just do it cleanly, which is the opposite of what Mann does, where he's like, I really want to live in these corners. And it's like, just make like clean dialogue that people can follow even if they're folding their laundry while they're watching the movie. And like Michael Mann movies don't work that way. You got to watch them with full attention.
That is true. Because if you watch a Michael Mann movie while you're like doing your taxes or, you know, checking your phone or whatever the fuck you're doing, you're just going to come away with being like, I don't know, I guess he like robbed a place and then he shot someone. Like, I don't know. It seems like nothing.
And the exposition
no plot
is so windy.
Right.
That it's like you can't just go like, okay, I got it. He's got the job.
When also you look up and you're like, it's a guy with male pattern baldness. You look down and you're like, I guess is that the same guy? I can't remember. Like it's just a bunch of guys in like slacks.
Yeah.
The whole mob in this.
Right.
Like, what's this, 10 years? It's 9 years after The Godfather.
Right.
And like, the mob there is so romantic and there's like curling cigar smoke and it's, this brown like candle lit and the mob is like, it's like a guy in an office who's like, hey, get off my ass, like you might as well have gone to the DMV.
I've definitely said this before in the podcast because it's one of my favorite lines ever, but Patton Oswalt was talking about why he loves the original Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3,
which is one of my favorite movies.
Right. And he was like, in the remake it's like Denzel Washington, and it tells you how different our idea of a movie star has become, because in the 70s you go like, there's a horrible criminal, he's holding the train hostage, there's only one man who can stop him, and the camera whip pans over, and his description is, it's Walter Matthau looking hungover in a cheap suit eating a stale hot dog.
Yes. Wearing like a raincoat and like
weird
sort of plaid hat.
Right. But eating a stale
he has like a
hot
yellow
dog.
shirt. Yeah, no, I know. Right, yeah. He looks like a cup of coffee. I don't know what to, right? Like that you threw on the track.
That's the weird like contradiction with Mann, is that like his films like don't have that romanticism, but they still end up being really sexy.
Sure.
Like he's not going for the pulp thrills.
This is a very sexy movie.
It's a very sexy
but it's a sexy movie in that, right? It's like a guy who can like, sort of precisely drill a hole and like you can kind of see him work the crank, and like you're kind of like, look at this guy, he's so good at what he's doing.
But who's the other actor above the title in this movie?
Tuesday Weld above the title?
Yes. Yeah. Who is another entirely self-sabotaging and self-destructive person.
Right.
She was like a child model at like 6, and then by 10 was like getting dead drunk in bars in New York City.
You're right. She is kind of the archetype of the like child star, gone wrong.
And was like, fuck it, I don't care. Was like very open about like, this whole industry is full of scumbags. I fucking hate all of you. And she has another list of like turning down every fucking big movie.
Yeah.
Like she turned down Bonnie and Clyde.
Wow.
She was like, there's a quote in her IMDb where she's like, I would turn down anything that felt like it was going to be a hit. I read the Bonnie and Clyde script and I said, this is going to be a hit. I don't want to be anywhere near it.
Jesus. Is that true?
Like, she's this amazing cult figure. Like, Michael Mann found these people who, like, walked the walk.
This is crazy. I'm sure you read this.
What?
She was Stanley Kubrick's first choice to play Lolita.
Yeah.
And she said, I didn't have to play it. I already was Lolita.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus,
she
Tuesday.
Was like, she was like, by 10, I was like a bar rat, and by 12, I was dating 45-year-old
Right, she's
men.
having like affairs with married men, like on set. What a person.
The first time she tried to commit suicide was when she was 12 years old because she had fallen in love with a gay man in his 30s, and she couldn't get over it.
Right. Bob and Carol and Fred and Sue, or whatever it was called, it reeked of success, she said.
Right. True Grit she turned down.
Sure.
Like all these performances where teenagers got Academy Award nominations, and she was like, go fuck yourself, suck a lemon.
Right. But she was in Looking for Mr. Goodbar, which is a few years before
got
this.
Got Oscar nomination.
Yeah, which is a very dark movie.
Yeah.
Especially for that era.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she's kind of rebuilding her career right now.
Shortly after this, she kind of stops doing movies and mostly does TV movies.
Yeah, she's in Once Upon a Time in America. That's the only other thing I can think of her in like the 80s.
And there's she's a big 90s movie I'm forgetting.
Let's find out.
She's in a big 90s movie.
She's in Falling Down.
Yeah, that was it.
The Joel Schumacher joint.
Yeah, an interesting movie.
Apparently she's also in Feeling Minnesota, which I've seen, but I don't remember
that. It's also a great name. But I like the idea
Tuesday Weld, for sure.
Michael Mann found these actors who have the same sort of, like, impulses. You know?
I do know.
Like, look at this cast. You got, like, fucking actual, like, former criminals and former cops.
100%. And some of the criminals play cops. Some of the cops play criminals.
Right. 2 totally self-destructive, addictive actors.
And Willie Nelson, who, like, never met a tax bill he couldn't pay. Right? Isn't that Willie Nelson's whole thing where he's like doing albums about all the affairs he had?
Yeah.
And then they're like, it's time to pay your taxes. You made $4 million. He's like, I don't want to pay
I
didn't. You're lying.
I didn't make $4 million.
And everyone's like, oh, Willie Nelson, he's like a sweet guy who gets high, right? It's like, no, Willie Nelson wrote all these like very dark albums about,
It was one of those
being
things
a dick
too, where he like shaved his beard on television for like $500,000 because he had to get himself out of a legal hole. That's a true thing.
No, it is. He
in
would
like
do
the
shit
late
like that.
90s.
Yeah, right.
Shaving my beard.
Yeah, the IRS seized his assets in 1990, claiming he owed them $32 million, which is a lot of dollars.
Now I only have $32.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I'm reading about poor Willie Nelson.
Yeah, I mean, what a weird casting choice for this movie.
He released an album called The IRS Tapes.
Yeah.
Which literally was like, this'll go to the IRS, like all profits to the IRS.
That was the way he got himself out of the legal hole. Was IRS was like, "Will you get us one album?"
Right, you're signing a recording deal with the IRS, and it's not IRS Records, the good thing that REM did or whatever. It's the Internal Revenue Service.
You got a one album deal,
right?
15-city promotional tour.
Yeah, we're giving you $50 to record it because this thing better go in the black.
Oh yeah, it's a one taker.
Yeah, right. Here's a guitar. Go.
We get merchandise sales. Yeah, right. We get touring.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to Red Rocks for 2 weeks. Oh boy.
Didn't pay my bills.
Anyway, right?
Yes.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Thief. Anyway, no, just
Ebert's review.
Ebert's review is very strong, right?
Yeah,
very positive.
Yeah,
yeah.
It gives him like 3.5. Mm-hmm. And he really likes Willie Nelson.
Sure. I think it's a very good
Yeah, isn't Ebert's...
It's weird.
Yeah.
Isn't Ebert's problem, he's like, not enough Willie Nelson?
That's exactly what he says. He's like, he's so good, I want more.
Right.
Yeah.
Michael Mann, just to give you the end of him, you know, he's the son of 2 grocers. I already told you that. He's a grocer's son.
Go buy yourself a fucking
apple. He's from
apple.
grocery. He's a head of cabbage. Tell him I said, fuck you. He went to London.
What?
To study graduate film. You know, he went to the University of London.
I would never go to school in London. Any school. Primary school.
I went to primary school in London.
What?
I went to secondary school in London.
What?
Didn't go to college in London, though. I went to Newcastle University.
Getting fucking smart with me.
I'll pinch you. And he would make commercials. Some of his friends from London, Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Who he recently interviewed on the DGA podcast in a, I don't know, an interview I can only describe as incomprehensible.
Yeah, they've had him moderate.
An interview I can only describe as all grumbles.
For those of you who've never listened to the DGA podcast, it rules.
It's great.
It's them recording Q&As after DGA screenings where one director interviews the director who made the film.
Right.
And there's usually some history between them, thematic link between their works, whatever it is.
Right.
Michael Mann does it a lot.
Right.
And he always goes like, so here's my question for you. When I was making The Heat, I studied bank robbers for about 18 months. And there was a guy I met, and he got real calloused hands. And he would always tell me that the key to being a good bank robber was breaking your hands down before you even start working. And then I watched in this film, of course, Doctor Strange, that he's got broken hands. So I don't really have a question. I guess I was just... Right? That's what all of his questions are like. Right. He goes on a long ramble and he's like, I don't know, I guess that was just something I appreciated.
Ridley Scott is like, did you have a question for me? And Michael Mann's like,
no, not really.
Rich people are fucking disgusting.
Another thing I love, Michael Mann, when he had to do his Sight and Sound top 10 list, do you know this?
No, I can look it up though.
One of his 10 top 10 films of all time. Mm-hmm. One of his 10 and far and away the most recent of the 10.
A Goofy movie?
Avatar.
Really?
Michael Mann loves Avatar.
I love the Na'vi.
I can't watch that shit without crying. Truly, he's like, I got stunned watching that fucking thing. I don't know how you make that.
Here are his 10. No, another one of them is so wild. Oh my God.
Really? Okay, give me the 10.
I'm going to give you the 10 in obviousness order.
Okay, ending with the wildest. Okay.
Apocalypse Now.
Obvious.
Battleship Potemkin.
Of course.
Citizen Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange.
Why not?
Passion of Joan of Arc.
Reasonable.
Raging Bull.
Obvious, yeah.
The Wild Bunch.
Of course.
You know, nice pick for him, right?
Avatar.
My Darling Clementine.
Okay.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great Western.
Yeah.
Maybe not everyone's favorite, you know,
Yeah.
John Ford movie. Avatar.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu. That's right. Let's see what he says about it.
Whoa.
Which is not a movie I love. Gotta be honest.
I've never seen it, but I don't like that guy's movies.
The profound struggle through the lower depths of Barcelona street life of a human soul. Beautiful is resplendent with grace, pathos, and love. Pure poetry.
What do you say about Avatar? Let's talk Tar.
Yeah, he's talking Tar right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Upon the foundation of an entirely invented biosystem, Avatar is a brilliant synthesis of mythic tropes with debts to Levi Strauss and Fraser's The Golden Bow. It soars because simply it stones and transports you. What a great little thing.
That is.
I love that.
Beautiful.
I love it. All of these are good.
Yeah.
I mean, you should go check out his list.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes movies.
He likes movies. It's surprising that he comes from the commercial world, though, because all those other guys are like primarily like very kinetic visual stylists.
Right. So the people I was naming: Ridley Scott, Alan Parker, Adrian Lyne.
Right.
He shoots some footage
These are guys
of the
who are like
of the
visual artists
Paris
who then
riots.
become filmmakers.
Yeah, exactly.
All of those dudes. Yeah.
Which aired in the news.
Yeah.
He divorces his first wife in 1971.
Okay.
Got started early.
Yeah. At the age of 14.
He was probably like 28, 29.
Yeah.
Hawaii Five-0 guy, Robert Lewin, is like, come with me, Michael.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to make a TV show, right? Teaches him how to make a TV show. So Michael Mann writes some Starsky and Hutches.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, these things that are so rigid in their formula.
He created a show called Vegas with a dollar sign. Which he worked on Police Story, which was more realistic, which is seen as sort of like an early good noir TV show, you know, like that. And then he makes this TV movie, The Jericho Mile.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal. It wins awards. Prison.
You're
saluting prison. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes. But then that gets him the runway to make a feature.
That gets him Thief.
Yeah.
Yes. That's impressive enough that he gets $5.5 million to make Thief.
Right. And then what's weird is he comes back around to TV.
Sure.
He sort of changes the landscape
After
a little.
Thief, right. Because Thief doesn't do that great.
We'll cover this when we get to it. But like he changes TV a little bit.
Sure.
Then goes back to features. And then 20 years later, like the seeds he planted in television have sort of blossomed into the entirety of prestige drama.
You're right. Should we do the Miami Vice pilot as like a bonus?
Maybe we should.
You know, even though he didn't direct it, but like we like to do that.
He didn't direct the pilot?
No.
Interesting.
Don't think so.
Maybe we do some bonuses because there's also, I mean, there's Jericho Mile and there's LA Takedown.
LA Takedown, but LA Takedown, as far as I am told, is fairly boring.
Interesting.
Like if you've seen Heat.
Right.
Because you're kind of like, oh, this is Heat.
Right.
But Robert De Niro and Pacino aren't in it?
Right. It's more like lukewarm.
Yeah. That's the old man and the gun. Warm.
Warm?
You know, because it's like, the old man and the gun is like Heat.
Except warm?
Right. You
Just
know,
warm
it's like,
and comfy.
Yeah, it's a little chiller.
Charming movie. Okay, so Thief.
Yes.
He gets James Caan. He pulls him out of the drunk tank.
Yes, he does.
Right? He pulls Tuesday Weld out of a knife fight at a bar.
That's right.
Script written solely by him?
Oh, yeah. It's based on trying to tell if it's a novel or a like nonfiction.
Based on a like confessional novel written by a jewel thief.
Oh.
Called The Home Invaders.
Who was one of the consultants on the film.
Right.
Okay.
Called John Sabald. And he
had outstanding FBI
yes,
warrants
he had FBI
while
warrants.
he was on set.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was jailed later. He went to jail in 95.
I love that fact. Yeah.
It's a good fact.
Now, a lot of the guys like who come out of TV, right?
Davey, hey.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Someone like Sidney Lumet, you're like,
hey, why don't you come the fuck out of here?
Yeah, why don't you come the fuck out of here? Someone like Sidney Lumet, you totally see his origins in TV. Because you're like, this is a pragmatic filmmaker.
Very much.
This is a guy who adapts to the style of the material.
Focus, right. Yeah, a bit chameleon-y.
Right. And he's very practical in his sort of process and how he approaches coverage and all of that.
Right.
Michael Mann, it's like a TV guy, and then like, here's a feature, and he's like, cool, let me just stretch out quickly. You know? Like, this is like the kind of thing that's so unlike how any crime TV show, Jesus Christ.
TV.
It's also unlike Cream TV.
It is, although it's not a very creamy movie, let's be honest.
It's not a very creamy movie. Yeah.
Yeah, this is also just a movie where, like, and TV is noted, you know, to death, and the TV, you know, so many people are looking at everything. Did no one, like, say anything?
Yeah.
How was he allowed to do this?
Very bizarre. And I guess the answer is, like, Khan's still pretty big at this point.
Yeah, and the budget's, like, not that high.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of wild that no one was like, hey, could you, like, explain things a little more? Could you, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just feels like a movie where a studio would be like, this is too fucking obscure.
It does also feel, though, for a long time, and maybe this is sort of starting to become the end of it, right?
Right.
But for a long time in Hollywood, if you had like an okay reel, right? If you had made a good TV movie, you had done some, short films, whatever it was, right?
Sure.
And they were like, okay, this person knows where to put the camera.
Right.
And then you give them a script with a gun in it. They'd be like, here's $4 million. They'd like give you a shot, you know?
Sure.
Like even like Cassavetes talks about that, where he was just like, I need to make a movie that made money. So I wrote Gloria because the character has a gun in it.
Sure.
And you watch Gloria and you're like, they gave him money to make this? And he's like, yeah, it had like a car chase and a gun in it. And it's like the most lethargic car chase of all time. But there was that kind of thing where it's like, even if you seemed uncommercial or the idea was uncommercial, they were like, if you have a movie star,
you could scrape together some cash,
and the movie star's holding a gun on the poster.
Right.
We can make it work.
And I mean, the poster of Thief is this very cool silhouette.
You saw the poster, right?
Of him over like the sparks flying,
but it like looks like a blacklight poster.
It does, but there's also that poster of him pointing the gun that I feel like is
was
all
the more
over
traditional.
the place.
It looks very contemporary.
It does.
Well, this movie feels
very contemporary.
Like this
it
mood
feels certainly at least 10 years at a time.
And like the whole time I was just thinking good time.
Right.
Which I know is like the fluorescent lighting,
but very influenced
ish kind of urban sort of like pocket of like crime and subculture.
The other thing I kept thinking watching this movie is like, oh man, I can't wait to watch that Safdie Brothers Diamond movie.
No, 100%. Right. And
like
obviously
I want to live in this milieu. I want to see a new movie like this.
Tonight,
I got to see more of their stuff.
You know about their new movie?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
It's a
Uncut
Diamond
Gems?
District movie with Adam Sandler.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's
and Google what Adam Sandler looks like in the movie for Ben. Ben needs to see this and he needs to react to this live on mic.
Oh boy, Ben, just don't have any orgasms.
Because paparazzi took photos of Adam Sandler and they were like, oh, is he having a midlife crisis? And they're like, no, he's fucking in the pocket.
Oh boy, Adam Sandler is unrecognizable as slick New Yorker chasing ladies in cocktail dresses.
Whoa.
There he is.
Right?
There he is.
Tucked in with a Gucci belt, like
from the directors of Good Time.
Yellow.
Oh my God. Yes.
God,
right?
Him yelling.
That is so cool.
That's why I'm hoping that's going to be his James Caan performance.
We could get them on the pod. I know that.
The Safdies?
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, I'll ask them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a promise I'm making that I may not be able to bring to fruition.
Hey, don't catch a fucking promise. Your ass can't. Whatever. I don't know.
You think they'll want to talk Miyazaki?
What?
We already announced it.
Oh, right.
We can do it.
Ugh.
We're allowed.
Yeah. Okay.
Also in that movie, Lakeith Stanfield. Hello.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill was going to be in it, but Sandler
he was going to be the
replaced
lead.
him.
Sandler
Right?
replaced him, which that character is even more interesting as an older guy.
I agree.
Yeah.
As far as I know, at least the old premise of it was like a diamond guy lends a really good diamond to a basketball player.
Yes.
Because he's like, I want some, something really good tonight. And then it like gets lost, or there's some kind of like he's like chasing the diamond through the city. Yeah.
Ding dong.
Oh.
Ding dong.
It better not be Harry Connick Jr. again. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I found that guy relaxing. It's very smooth.
I don't know. He weirdly made me choke on my own food.
That's on you, baby. That's on you. You can't blame that on Harry.
All right, go on. Who we got?
Okay, let me. So hostile. Let's see who our guest is.
Well, just say the last one brought me
here
near
we
death.
got. That's not your fault. Don't blame this on Harry Connick Jr. He's smooth. Okay, clean slate.
Who is
David, this is a guest. Let's welcome him into our studio. Let's see who it is. Crick.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Look who it is, David. It's our old friend. It's me, Checky.
Oh, it's Checky. Okay.
Remember
Hi,
the
Checky.
mascot from Blank Check?
Yeah, you've been here a couple times.
A couple times. Been a while.
You're a check, a bank check.
I am a check.
With arms and legs and eyes.
And I bounce, baby. Boing, boing, boing,
It's our mascot.
boing,
Okay,
boing.
Checky, what are you doing here?
Oh, I feel like crap.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What's the matter?
I just can't bounce the way I used to. I've been eating garbage.
You are looking a little round at the edges there, Checky. I got to be honest with you.
I don't have those clean angles anymore.
You really don't.
I get a little bit of punch here.
Yeah, you're kind of like when someone gets a tattoo
Yeah.
and then they gain some weight, and it, like the tattoo gets a little stretched
My
out.
memo line is dragging. It's across the floor. I gotta get in better shape, David. I want to keep that clean check silhouette.
So have you been eating out a lot? You've been sort of maybe eating too much junk
I've
food?
been eating shit.
Wow. Okay. Well,
literally,
Well, all right. Okay. Let me nip that in the bud. Instead of doing that, why don't you try HelloFresh?
HelloFresh?
It's a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can just cook them and eat them and enjoy them.
Well, this is one of the reasons I've been eating.
Very weird to converse with you.
Why?
No, go ahead.
I'm your friend, the mascot, who appears on the show regularly.
You get a weirdly big cut, too, considering you barely show up.
25%.
Who negotiated that?
First dollar gross.
Okay.
What I was going to say is it's tough being a Czech.
Sure.
I got little arms.
Sure.
I got little legs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm little.
You're little, right. Bouncing's kind of your
walking
thing.
out to the grocery store is difficult. You go, why don't you bounce? Because it's dirty. There are people. I'm hitting them. And then I don't know how to
do that.
Get the what are the sizes or the ingredients?
Oh, well, here's
how much of each thing.
This is why you need HelloFresh.
Carefully portion.
Okay, HelloFresh does all the stuff you're talking about.
What?
Does the shopping, measures out the ingredients, delivers it right to your door. They got you 6-step pictured recipe cards in a special insulated box. You don't have to spend any time planning your meal.
Cards?
Yeah, cards.
I'm related to cards.
All cards are
on my mother's
relative?
side. Cards are my cousins.
And what's the dad's
on my
side?
Father's side? $1 bill, baby.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's like $1 got
dollar
together with a
bill,
card?
baby.
That's what a check is?
And
okay.
Of course, that's my catchphrase. $dollar bill, baby.
We need to talk about that off mic. 3 plans to choose from. You got classic.
Ooh.
You got veggie.
Ooh.
You got family.
Family?
You can switch between them when your tastes change.
Yeah.
They've got...
I won't be needing family anytime soon.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Take it easy.
I like to play the field.
It's fine. Personal life out of it. You can do HelloFresh's dinner to lunch. You can do 20-minute meals. You can do gourmet and one-pot wonders. They've got all kinds of fun menu features.
And fun is what I live for, baby.
All right. Here's some recipes. I want to look at recipes they got
Please.
right now. We've got balsamic fig chicken.
Ooh.
That sounds good. Got a Korean-style chicken and rice bowl.
Yes, please.
You got lemon thyme pork with roasted zucchini and garlic herb rice.
Sounds like it's time for lemon time.
Okay.
Pork.
All right. Well, for $80 off your first month of HelloFresh.
$80?
Yes. For $80 off your first month of HelloFresh, go to HelloFresh.com/check80 and enter check80.
Okay, give me one sec. Can you hand me that pen?
Sure.
Okay, let me just write on my belly here.
Yep, exactly. So write this down. For $80 off your first month of HelloFresh, go to HelloFresh.com/check80 and enter check80.
Okay, I wrote check80 right here on my belly. That works, right?
Yeah, probably.
No, I think, come on.
All right, fine. No, you got to go to HelloFresh.com/check80.
I was trying to set you up for a bit and you just let it.
I know, but I'm like, you're a Czech. I don't know what the rules are with you. Maybe that's how it works for you.
Maybe it does. Bye. Boing, boing,
it's
boing,
like receiving
boing.
8 meals free. You're getting $20 off your first 4 boxes. It's great.
What a pleasure seeing him again. Dollar bill indeed. I mean, let's go through it. So the opening of the movie is very much like what Refn is pulling from in Drive, right? This opening, like, wordless, sort of just Tangerine Dream, pulsating score.
Yeah.
Dark streets.
It's raining.
Hard turns.
And Willie Nelson.
I think I wrote...
cracking the safe.
Starting off right. Wet and shady.
Wet and shady.
And we got someone else in this cast.
Prosky, Nelson, Farina.
Excuse me. Someone else is in that opening credit. Belushi.
Oh my God, Belushi, who somehow has less hair than ever in this one. Did he get it back?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who he had to kill.
I don't know. He's got a weird bouffant going on.
Belushi with a shirtless scene.
Oh, well.
A shirtless beach scene.
Yeah.
That's what Michael Mann will give you.
Yeah.
Who's the female lead? Tuesday Well. They dragged her out of a heroin clinic.
Yeah.
Okay, well, is there someone can wear a bikini? Yeah. Sure. Belushi, put this on.
I just imagine it's like, so Michael, we're giving you $6 million. Let's go over the list of things we need. Big star? Yeah, I got a big star.
Yeah.
Guns, crime, got that. We need a topless scene. We need some primo tits in this movie. And he's like, so just all you're asking for is someone topless with big tits?
No further questions.
Cool. Jim, take it off.
Oh, boy. William Peterson is in this movie.
Billy Peterson.
Yeah, he's a bartender.
There's another person who like I'm trying to remember who showed up in the end credits where I was like, oh, that was them in an early, almost unrecognizable role. But the Belushi, this is his first movie.
Belushi,
he's coming out of Second City Chicago theater scene. He does this movie before he does 2 seasons on Saturday Night Live.
Right, that's crazy. I was trying to find out what his parents did. They were Albanians.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they were like grocers or butchers. You know, they definitely are from Chicago.
No question. I think they were meat people.
They're in meat.
Right, but it's kind of interesting that you're like, oh, here's John Belushi's younger brother, right? Has Belushi not died yet at this point?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Right?
Belushi died in 82. Wow, very soon after.
Very soon after. So at this point, there isn't that like, fuck, we need someone to replace John Belushi.
Right.
And it's like, look, here's just John Belushi's little brother. He's a pretty good character actor.
Which is what Jim Belushi's ceiling has always been.
Yeah.
Like putting him in SNL was a disservice to him. He couldn't handle that.
Right.
He wasn't very good.
And making him like a leading man.
Making him a leading man who has to like, cross his arms and like go back to back with someone on a poster.
Right.
No.
He's good as like a little color on the side. Canine.
Sure. Right.
The dog crossing its arms.
The dog, I guess, has its paw on Belushi in the poster.
It's just interesting because he's so good in this. Then he largely sucks for the next 10 years with occasional bright spots, right? And I feel like recently he's moved into a really good zone where it's just like, like him and like Show Me a Hero.
Oh, great. Oh, so good in that.
James watched Show Me a Hero and was like, there's this guy in it. And I'm watching it and I'm going like, who is this actor they found who looks so much like Jim Belushi? Because he couldn't believe that Jim Belushi was giving that good a performance.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of unrecognizable in Show Me. He's like fatter. Like he looks great.
In The Ghost Rider, he's totally bald. He's got like Daddy Warbucks head.
He's not bad in that.
He's not bad in that. Yeah.
He was in that show The Defenders with Jerry O'Connell.
Right.
He's apparently he's in good. Oh, he was in Twin Peaks.
He was in Twin Peaks,
which he was so good in.
Right, like he's a good character actor.
He played a character called Humpty in Wonder Wheel.
Right, he's good at playing
that thing sucks.
Like pills, assholes, sticks in the mud, fat cats. And like you watch him in this, and you're like, this is a totally promising like early performance, and then he becomes like the butt of everyone's jokes for a decade.
Right.
Then like sort of flounders for 5 years and then does like the worst sitcom ever for 28 seasons.
Where he's married to Courtney Thorne-Smith, right? Is that the one?
Right. Like the sort of apex of totally unappealing guy has beautiful, incredibly tolerant wife sitcoms.
And it's like it's one of those things where you're like, you don't think I've never watched a full episode of According to Jim, but I feel like they can't leave the house.
Yeah,
like if they open the door, it would be
sandworms.
a void. Yeah, exactly.
There's sandworms outside.
They would just hear screaming.
Yeah,
he's like, "All right, I gotta go to work," and he just walks into the next room and then just stands there. Oh, interesting. Oh, apparently in the show, According to Jim, he's a big fan of the Chicago Cubs.
Have you seen someone I think it was like Clickhole, but it was like the top 28 times.
I really want to challenge myself in this. Yeah, what was it? Go ahead.
I think it was someone did a listicle that was top 28 times Jim Belushi has performed Sweet Home Chicago. And it's like 28 separate YouTube videos of him performing Sweet Home Chicago at different live events. Because that's the other thing. Like he starts to do Blues Brothers with Aykroyd, and everyone's like, we don't want that. Like, stop trying to be John Belushi.
Right. Exactly.
Be Jim Belushi.
Right.
There's like such a clear line where
you're absolutely right. That's the advice.
Right.
Be Jim Belushi. And Thief, this is good.
This is Jim.
This is Jim.
According to Jim.
According to David, this is good.
Yeah.
So they thieve. They do thieving.
Right. Do some nighttime thieving.
They thief good. They drill into a safe.
Yes.
We just watched Ant-Man. Which has a lot of safe work.
Yeah.
And this makes Ant-Man look like some, baby
This
garbage.
is
like, no, here's how you work a fucking safe. No, I agree.
This is like the time, like the
At no point does anyone shrink to ant size, for example, in this movie.
In this movie, no, that does not happen.
Right, exactly.
But like the tradition of like the brand name of the door.
Yes.
I love that. Where they're like, it's a thingy-majig. And he's like, fuck is a burn job.
And like to me with shady stuff when they are like,
Jack, we
talk
got a problem
about it, you know what I mean? Yeah, and they like have meetings about it.
It's a Walensky, Jack.
We're
fucked.
I'd love it.
They just have bratwurst in their shirt pocket.
Yeah, and just the amount of like sparks in this movie.
So many sparks.
So many sparks.
The drill they're using
has a meeting at a fucking scrapyard or some shit.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
The drill they're using is a real piece of thief equipment
that
one of the thieves on set brought for thieving.
Right.
Thief.
So
he gets a bunch of diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
He gives the diamonds to his fence, Joe Gags.
Oh, this guy.
This guy.
I mean, talk about
various ovals sort of arranged.
All these guys, the old guy he sees later, like all these little one scene like expert guys, are just like such good color.
He is so good. Who is Joe Gags? Hal Frank.
Oh, Hal Frank.
He gets murdered off screen.
Right.
Joe Gags doesn't make it.
Right.
So Frank, James Caan, has to go to the mob and be like, "Hey, where's my fucking money?" Right? That's his move.
Right.
He does this by going there and pointing a gun at the guy and saying, "Pay me now."
We should say where he goes.
His office.
It's a business that we all know that exists.
Plating.
And she goes, "What are you here for?" He's like, "I gotta talk about some fucking plating.
Yeah, I gotta get some plating done my fucking
I got some bad plating, and I need to talk to somebody about it."
Eat two of my farts. Fuck you.
A Taglia, who's basically like, "I don't know you, fuck you," and he points a gun. And he's like, "I guess I know you now." Okay.
Then the best thing is that he walks out of the office, closes the door behind him, and keeps the gun up just to scare everyone else in the office.
To scare the door.
Yeah, one bunch of receptionists.
So Prosky.
Gets referred to Prosky. Leo.
Who's in charge of the outfit, right?
He runs the city.
He's a fence. He'll sell your fancy diamonds, right? Meets with him.
He's got like, aviator glasses, not even sunglasses, aviator glasses.
So good.
Prescription aviator.
Oh, also another little thing. In this first robbery, you notice him throwing the jewelry and just going for the packs.
Yeah.
And that's the start of the specificity of how much of an expert this guy is.
God, you love this movie.
I fucking love it.
Yeah. Because he's a pro.
He's
a professional.
Right. He's a pro.
He's there to get what he's there to get.
Yep.
He's not going to get distracted by shit. Have you seen Triple Frontier yet?
No. You kind of like it a lot, right?
Mwah! What a good movie. Because that's a movie about you're there to get what you're there to get. And then you're like, fuck, there's also this. I want it. You know, what do I do? You know, that. And then how that dooms you.
It is crazy that movie came so close to being made 10 years ago.
Yep.
The first thing post Hurt Locker with Will Smith, Tom Hanks, and Johnny Depp.
Would have ruled.
Yeah.
But this version's great too. I mean, Affleck is just is the magic of that movie.
Well, he's owning the sad, right?
Have I told you my opinion on it? Like when they offered him the role, he 100% was like, I am insulted, but I will accept. You know what I mean? Like where he reads the part, he's like, you want me for that guy?
Yeah.
We want you for that guy. Fuck you. All right. Sure. Let's do it. I'll be good at it.
I mean, it's the same thing as like the Jim Belushi thing. All these things we're talking about where we're like, there's so many actors like that where it's just like, there is some innate quality to them that can ruin 98% of performances.
Yeah.
But if you cast them properly, it becomes such an asset to you. Like, it's such a similar thing with, like, Affleck in Gone Girl, where they announced he was doing that, and I was like, oh, fuck, why is David Fincher making Ben Affleck the lead in his movie? And then you see it, and you're like, that fucking worminess.
Yes, right, yes.
It's that weird thing, that insincerity to Ben Affleck, where you're like, this guy feels like he's not trying hard enough. Like, his smile, I'm, like, not buying it. And in Gone Girl, it's just, like, such a fucking asset. You know? Like, when you watch him as Batman, you're like, this is uncomfortable. If you put him in Triple Frontier, you're like, well, yeah, the guy's a mess.
Exactly. Triple Frontier is about a guy who was good and now can barely flip a house in, like, suburban Miami or whatever.
Right.
He shouldn't be Batman.
Right.
Like, Batman should have his shit together.
Right.
I guess he could be Batman who can't flip a house.
Right.
But, like, I don't know if that's going to open, you know, your movie, like, you know, to 185.
Could be a Batman that vapes, though.
He could be Batman that vapes.
Yeah.
But it also feels like...
Instead, he's a Batman that vapes when they call cut. Right. I mean, like, that's sort of the vibe of that performance.
But it was like, oh, this is like a badass Batman whose face also weighs 45 pounds.
I mean, Mann and
this
Affleck,
guy's depressed.
Mann and Affleck
Batman, he's not depressed at all.
Get Mann and Affleck together.
Ugh,
if Mann's going to make another movie.
Yeah, about a weasel.
Yeah, the Weasel.
The Weasel.
Weasel. Anyway, Prosky's like, I'll hire you. You make you lots of money.
God, and such good dialogue.
This scene is so good. It's all
It's just
good
like
dialogue.
jewel cut, like...
And I just love all of Caan being like, okay, well, I only do this. And, you know, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Right? And you're going to pay me that. And Prosky's like, fine.
Yeah, he's not going to do home stuff.
Right,
You know, he's not going to, like, burglarize, residential. Like he's very specific.
So much of like the stylization of his dialogue is taking out filler words. I mean, using all this lingo,
sort of James Ellroy trick,
right?
Like,
lingo of like words we all know, but you haven't heard them applied and things like this, and just like Robert Brodsky like pointing at like James Caan saying like, "You got pressure," and you're just like, why is that so cool?
Well, so he meets that character.
He meets Prosky, but he's kind of like, I'm going to do one big job for you. You get me a big score,
right?
And that'll be that.
Prosky's like the industry. Right. And he's like, look, there are a lot of benefits to working for me, mental, dental.
Right. Yeah.
Because Caan, all the stuff he's been stealing,
right?
Just I can buy you a baby.
It ends up with Prosky.
Right.
Of course.
He knows like that it's being channeled to
Prosky's like, let's cut the middleman.
Anyway. He's like, right, I sell your shit.
I'll sign you. Classic 10% agent commission. Right.
Right. But then, and Frank's like, I don't know, right? I'm not sure about this.
Well, because there's the other thing that's going on, which is when he goes out for lunch with the Eggman earlier in the film, it's at his usual diner he goes to where Tuesday Weld works the desk. And he asks her, like, hey, we're going to go out tonight.
Right.
Like, they have an ongoing thing going on.
But it's just
He's made the plans with her, and now he's having the Brodsky meeting.
Right.
So when he leaves the Brodsky meeting, he's been standing around for 2 hours straight at a jazz club. She's not having it.
She doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's his club.
It is his club.
Now, I wanted to ask something because I wonder about if you guys picked up on this. Do you know why he has the two businesses that he has?
It's where he like cleans his money, right?
The money launderer.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure you're crime boys.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's not indict us here, but yeah.
So he also he has this big scene with Tuesday. He has this big series of scenes with her, right?
Right.
Which is sort of his like, maybe I want to settle down. Maybe,
because he's already gone to see Willie Nelson at this point.
He's gone to see Willie Nelson. They've had a conversation inches from each other's face through a prison window.
And Willie Nelson's doing this really, his eyes keep on like darting back and forth.
It's
Do you notice
all
that?
his eyes. They're so good. Yes, I did. And they're very black.
Right. And at first I was like, is he reading off of cue cards?
Maybe.
Like, it was so specific what he was doing, but then the rest of the performance, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's this very interesting, whether he was conscious of doing this or not, it's a really interesting way to show someone's, like, vulnerability in a scene where they're trying to act calm. Because his whole thing is being, like, friendly and light and, like, I'm doing okay. But you can tell the guy's miserable. And he's, like, having a nervous breakdown.
Right.
And he's got a terminal illness, and he doesn't want to die inside.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is get out.
That's the thing. He knows he's dead.
Right.
But if he could only just die, like, out of prison.
But James Caan starts telling him about Tuesday Weld because you get the sense that James Caan's got no one else to talk to.
Right.
His only friend who he can actually talk to is in prison. So when he goes to see him, he's like, let me tell you about this girl I'm seeing.
He has no life outside of his profession.
He's got no life. But it makes it clear he's saying to Willie Nelson, he's like, I need your advice on this. Do I tell her or not?
Right.
Because Willie Nelson asked him about his wife. That's the thing. He goes, how's your marriage going? And he's like, it's done. And he goes, why is it done? And he goes, she was getting, suspicious of everything. She didn't figure it out. What did she think he was? She thought he was having an affair.
Yeah, that's it.
She was like, I could see you were hiding something. She thought I was having an affair, and I thought it was better to just accept that than correct her.
Right.
So he lets her get away. And he's got this sense of like, maybe I should start the next relationship on a right foot.
Yeah.
So he shows up late to this Tuesday Weld thing.
She's mad.
She's mad. Guys are trying to break them up, thinking that he's giving her the business.
Jerk. Yes.
But he flashes the piece.
He is being a jerk.
He is being a jerk.
Sure.
This is a different time.
Right.
Well, yeah, but also he's just a jerk.
He's a jerk.
Like, he's the kind of guy who like snaps his fingers at a waiter. He's too much all business.
You know the original title of this film?
Oh, I do. What the fuck is it?
The Jerk.
The original title of this film was Violent Streets.
Bad title.
I know. You know what's a good title?
Thief.
I'll pinch you.
But then this great scene where he's in the car with her.
When he says I'll pinch you, he's just going to pinch him. Give him a little pinch.
Pinch is so good.
It really is.
The first time they said it, I was like, ooh, I like it when they say pinch. Right.
What's
and then I was so satisfied that they say it 45 more times.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That it wasn't
Man
just...
was like, oh, you like that, huh?
Right. Like, his movies establish their own vocabulary.
Yeah.
They have this, like, street dictionary that they're using.
They always do, and I mean, that's the thing that he really goes all in on in some movies where people are like, excuse me, can someone just tell me what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's because that's the Miami Vice thing where the first 20 minutes, no one says a word anyone can understand.
Yes.
It's all like, your OPSEC is blown, all
and
that
then minute
stuff.
21, he says, I'm a fiend for mojitos.
Hell yeah. And then we're all like, back on board, baby.
Yeah. But I love this scene in the car where he's like, fuck, am I going to have to do this?
Right.
Like, I want her to put it together. And he runs down that whole thing.
Yeah, don't you know who I am?
Look at my clothes, this and that.
But it's also cathartic for him.
Right.
He's like, I'm a thief. Look,
finally,
I'm saying it.
He's being honest with a woman for the first time in his life. So then they have the great scene at the diner, and he talks about how he learned to just not care anymore. And how he just became invincible. That he's just a man.
Great story.
Who gives no fucks.
That whole story, though, and like, that is such a guy thing too.
It's his
of
magic.
Like your war story, kind of moment. You know, I loved it.
Well, and this is such a classic like acting class monologue, right? Especially for anyone who wants to be like a tough guy or a broken guy, right?
Right.
And you go like, there are two things. One pitfall is oversell it. You sell it like it is a dramatic monologue, right? The other pitfall is you want to make it so offhand that it feels completely unspecific.
Yeah, you need to compel people with this, right? You can't just do it like, I guess I'm a thief or something.
He's doing this magic trick where it's just like, he's like tossing everything off over his shoulder, but you actually see in his eyes like the experience. You see that he's living through the memory, and he's making enough weird physical choices with his body language, but he keeps on kind of like scrunching away and like looking over his shoulder and like tossing things off. But it's so compelling because you see the vulnerability underneath the story.
I am a true blue kind of a guy.
Yeah.
I've been cool.
And he's got that great, like, pretty subtle scar on his jaw.
Right.
Like, that's the man thing. Like, you don't give him, like, a Paul Mooney scar. You give him, like, just a little bit of, like...
You know what else he's got, though?
What?
A vision board.
Well,
this is one of the craziest things in the movie.
It's like a weird collage.
He has like The Secret,
right?
With like Willie Nelson's on.
He's like sitting in the junkyard.
He's such a weirdo.
His car shop, where Del Close is one of the mechanics.
Really?
Yes.
It is Chicago.
Who, by the way, was never on a Herald team, but taught the Herald. Never on team. Never on team. Made the teams. It never was on them. He sits down on like, I don't know, like a fucking milk crate or something, opens up his wallet, and I was like, this is the most man thing in any movie ever. It's just a man sitting down on garbage looking at his wallet. He just takes out.
He has 300 credit cards.
The most generic brown bifold wallet. He's got 27 credit cards on each side.
Right. He has 6,000 in cash.
Right. And then he unfolds a fucking vision board collage.
It's crazy. I mean,
this is my life right here.
It's such a man thing of like these men.
Right. I got a picture of my wallet of what I want my life to be.
Exactly. Where they're like, I have one feeling. It's this picture. I allow myself one feeling. And it is this. It is a dream that I will never achieve.
Yeah.
Instead, I murder. Right? It's like always that.
I got myself a glue stick, some crafting scissors, and I made myself my one feeling.
Making a vision board.
She asked him, she goes, what did you do? Cut the newspapers, whatever. I made this collage.
It's like layered, like, Willie Nelson. A picture of two kids.
Willie Nelson as a guy called Okla.
Right. His real name.
His real name's David. That is my favorite scene.
Yeah.
Is they want a baby.
Yeah.
They go to the adoption agency, and James Caan doesn't acquit himself great by being like, I'll take whatever garbage you've got.
Well, I'll say this. The Tuesday Weld character is kind of underwritten. And by kind of underwritten, I mean fully underwritten.
Sure. I mean, but
she brings a lot of character to it.
Everyone's pretty underwritten. Yes. But yes.
But what's interesting is that once he fesses up to her, she's 100% in because they're both broken people.
100%.
The guy she didn't want to get involved with was the guy who was hiding stuff from her.
Yeah, she thought he was cheating on her or just like, going around town,
Or just that he was emotionally unavailable or any of that. But the second that he's like, I'll tell you who I am.
She was in South America with him. I think she sort of eventually became aware that he was a drug dealer.
Sure.
I think that and I only saw this once, but my take was that when she sort of explains her backstory, she knew kind of that he was a drug dealer. She was like, what have I got myself into? And then she ended up penniless in Bolivia.
Right. Fair enough. Right. She gets it. Right. But yes, this idea that like you don't have the scene of them saying like we want to have kids. They cut all those scenes out, but you see them moving into the nicer house. You see them going to the adoption agency.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea that like, his new attitude of just like, I don't care anymore. He puts down his prison stint as part of his employment history.
Right.
On his application.
Right. I mean, he did work in prison.
Right.
And they're like, we're not going to give you a baby. And gives the whole speech about how they're from the suburbs.
And he grew up in the system.
He did grow up in the system.
He knows what it feels like to be the kid that no one wants.
Basically like, I'm doing you a service. Give me the toughest kid you've got. I'll handle him. And they're like, sir, please leave this office.
He also does say a bunch of racial slurs.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, which is one of those things where you go like, this is uncomfortable. But also, this is how these shitty people talk.
Of course.
Like when Robert Prosky throws out like 3 slurs in one sentence, I'm like, I don't question that the real guy would do that.
Well, also, that's when he's in like full tough guy, fuck you mode. I'm throwing you in jail. You know what I mean? Where he's like, you have crossed me. You brought a piece to his house, which
I also think that high-level criminals are all very racist.
Yes, of course, because they see people as like piles of money and vice.
Right. And the other thing is that they're like, they look at everyone as like tribes.
Right.
It's like high-level criminals are like, you can't trust them. They're our allies. Like they stereotype everyone because they view each person as being part of like a different like manufactured team.
But like in Mann movies, often like the character you like is the guy who's like, I like professionals.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like.
Right.
I mean, the De Niro character.
The only thing I believe in is doing your job well.
Exactly. Is the like epitome of a Michael Mann character.
Right.
But of course, so they can't buy a baby. They can't adopt a baby, so they buy a baby.
Right. Robert Prosky offers them a baby. And I love his take on the scene where he's like, what am I shoplifting? Like, yeah, come on, ask me for things.
I got babies.
I'm your friend. I work with you. I take care of people.
I just had a baby.
Right. Don't go around asking other people for things. I can figure it out.
And he's really throwing the fatherly vibes.
Right.
He is. But of course, as he's going to reveal later, that's all just ways for him to get his hooks in you so that if you fuck him, he can be like, I'll take your baby back.
Right. And he's like, where do you get the
that
baby
baby's
from?
An escrow.
And he's like, mothers who need money. And James Caan's like, whoa. And he's like, hey, don't hold against the kid that the mother's an asshole. Like, you're doing them a favor. You're helping the kid. If the mother's willing to sell their kid, then they shouldn't be raising them. So why not have them go to a house that wants them?
Right. And I just love that scene in the Chinese restaurant where they don't have a name for the baby.
Yeah.
And she says to him, like, well, what about Okla? Like, you know. Yeah. And Caan, like, allows himself to smile. Yeah. Like, where it's like, oh, I never thought of, like, that.
Naming him after my friend.
Nice.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
And he's like, actually, his name isn't Okla. And you're like, yeah, no shit, his name isn't Okla.
Yeah, his name's David.
Yeah, and David, that's my name.
Yeah, it's a crappy name. But wow. I have a diarrhea name.
His name was Mr. Diarrhea Pants, actually. That was his given name.
But there's also, of course...
The waiter's like, good name, Mr. Diarrhea Pants.
Before this, the cop pulls him over.
Yeah.
What's his name? Commander Luzio or whatever?
He's the guy who's actually a criminal.
Right.
In IRL.
He's a real dirty cop.
A thiefer.
Yeah. He makes Pigpen look clean.
I don't know, Urizi maybe?
Pigpen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we're getting a little ahead. So
of what?
Well, we have to set up that...
We're pointing the clock, Ben.
I just wanted to say that we have to set up that he's now on board and he's getting information.
Working for us.
He's like,
we're getting to the job. We're getting to the joint. Yes, he gets a job.
He's casing the joint. And he's gone Willie Nelson out. That's another great scene.
Yeah, he gets Nelson out.
Where the lawyer and the judge are negotiating with their fingers.
Because then at the same time, the police...
That's so good.
On their cheeks.
Oh, yeah.
And I need $6,000 for Earl Warren.
What's this guy trying to do? Pick his nose? And then the guy behind him is like, yo, you get me a mink coat? So that's James Caan's thing. He's like, fucking everyone's asking me for everything all the time. How does everyone in this town know I'm working for you?
Right.
And he's like, how do you know I was trying to adopt the baby? And he's like, because this person told this person that you said this to them. They saw you there.
I love it.
It's all connected. And this fucking cop is like, look, I know what's going on. And James Caan says, if you want to pinch me, pinch me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of his best lines.
Like, shit or get off the pot.
What do you want to say, Ben, about the job? You were talking.
Yeah, no, I just said that in the plot.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has already started to begin doing the process of figuring out how he's going to achieve.
Doing reconnaissance.
Yeah, he's doing reconnaissance.
That old
4
guy.
alarms.
Yeah.
And then there's a 5th alarm.
And I just love that they really set that up in such a clear way that you can follow along when he's like going through the steps of figuring out how he's going to achieve this.
Yeah.
That's
right,
all.
because it's not like an Ocean's 11 heist.
Yes.
It's like they're showing you all the things he has to prepare for.
The wiring, the schematic of the lock, and like what like different parts of the lock he has
so
to,
that when he actually
eliminate.
gets to the heist, there's like no dialogue for 10 minutes because they've already explained all the different stages.
So into it.
Yeah.
And it's a burn job.
It's a burn job.
They need a thermal lance. You know, one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do they go to the beach? You know, there's a lot of time spent while they're trying to figure out you see Belushi tits, trying to figure out that 5th alarm, right? You know, Mexico.
Right, now he moves
whatever
into the nice
passcode
house.
is. Yeah.
Well, they figure out that then, it's like they can kill the wiring, but for the fifth one, it's like this closed, basically like closed like intercom system with a passcode.
Right.
And he bugs them. And I love all that stuff. I love analog.
So
just all the analog.
The thing, Belushi with the briefcase and the walkie-talkie and the tape recorder.
And it's just like shallow focus close-up. And you're just like one Belushi eye.
And they're like diverting, like grounding wires, electricity, and it just all looks like it would
the
really
80s.
be
It was
real.
all wired.
Well, that's the other thing. He unscrews the phone from his wall at his house, sees the chip, runs the water, tells Tuesday, well, we're bugged.
Right.
And then that's the other thing where he goes into Protsky, right? And he's like, this is the bug they wanted me to find.
Right.
This is the one I wasn't supposed to find. In the
love
car.
It. Yes,
right.
No, I love it.
Right. He knows that like it's all, he's part of the whole system now. He's functioning independently. But now he's in this world of everyone shaking hands with everyone
else.
It's
so funny that this is his first movie. Because, you could take it as like a movie director makes later in their career where they're like, don't join up with the big shots because all they'll do is control you,
And also his next movie is like a B horror film, which is how most directors start before they get to make the film of their own
interest.
His
next movie is easily his most baffling movie. It's the only one where you're like, Michael Mann made this? You'll see it.
It's one of those things where so many surprising directors started out in horror because it's like, they'll give you a budget, you get in, you get out. It's weird that he follows Thief with like, here's like a Nazi monster movie.
Yeah, it's some, Nazi ghosts. Watch out. Ian McKellen's there.
Hey, fucking pinch you.
Fucking Nazi ghosts.
Fucking Nazi ghosts.
Yeah, go get me some
They got pressure.
Trying to think of forgetting everything before The Job.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty much The Job.
Yeah, they burn
Willie Nelson gets
themselves.
out and he dies.
Yeah, it's sad.
Right.
Oakland.
It's a pretty great James Caan scene of just, oh, wow, this guy truly does not know how to process emotions.
Right.
Like, he just kind of shuts down. Like,
Probably shouldn't have a baby.
Probably shouldn't have a baby.
They get the money. Mm-hmm. It works. I mean, it all goes fine.
Yeah.
They get the $4 million in diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
The burning the sparks, that's all great.
And he, right. The movie, you feel like this could be the triumph at the end of the film.
Right.
Like, I paused it and I was like, wait, there's 30 minutes left?
Sure.
When they're breaking the safe, it made me think of The Dentist. Because, like, one guy's the suction. He's, like, spraying.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And,
he's the hygienist.
Yep. And then you have the dentist operating the precision. And then you have the assistant sort of just helping out.
They let you pick cinnamon, bubblegum, or mint.
Yep.
Remember when that was the exciting thing about going to the dentist? Oh, wait, this is the only place where they got bubblegum toothpaste?
I remember that about the doctor. I always hate the dentist. Fucking dentist.
That makes no sense, though. I mean, that's usually because all Americans, people who grew up in America.
Yeah, people are fine with dentists.
Right. In England, obviously, like, dentists have a bad reputation.
Yeah.
Are we forgetting something from earlier in the episode that was revealed? I don't know. Did it come up?
No.
I'm the last guy you want to fuck with.
I'll pinch you. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Oh, David. Look at the clock in the corner.
It is up there.
Do you know what time it is?
What time?
It's time for us to talk about 8 hours.
Oh, it's a new platform bringing the best videos on film and television analysis, critique, and education all into one place.
Yeah, it's not some backhanded joke about how long our episodes have gotten.
No, they're not quite that length yet.
No.
I don't remember how long this one's going. It might be long.
See, here's the thing. At 8 hours, rather than talking heads commentary like these two dummies, 8 Hours showcases videos combining excerpts from films and TV shows with research analysis, insight, and instruction.
Yep.
These video essays that the kids love.
Yeah, and the results of a platform where everyone, from a casual film goer to an aspiring filmmaker, can go for entertainment and inspiration and to learn more about filmmaking.
Now, at 8hours.com, you're going to find over 4,000 videos on your favorite directors like, let me check here, Michael Mann. It's almost like Oliver Ben. It's almost like they knew what show they were advertising on.
Hell yeah.
You can learn more about Mann's filmography, his filmmaking style, his technique, or watch videos exploring specific films like Heat, the perfect blend of realism and style, and Collateral, what separates Max and Vincent. Those are the proper titles of those videos.
Backseat of a car.
Yeah.
That's what separates them.
So, well, there's that
and there's
sort of the
glass
plastic
thing.
divide.
I assume it gets into all of that stuff.
I hope that's the main thing the video is discussing.
It's like you may not have noticed that there's this like
there's
sort of
like a little
perspex kind of barrier.
And when they get out of the car, they're separated in the sense that they have different bodies.
Yeah, air
different
between
corporal
them,
forms. Yes,
molecules.
Look, from horror to romantic comedies, 8 Hours also has a huge selection of videos on genre, plus videos exploring film history and movements like film noir and the French New Wave.
And do you want to know about more series? Do you want to know more about a new series you're hooked on or need a recap?
Mm-hmm.
Check out videos on popular shows like Game of Thrones, covering for everything from character analysis to symbolism to scene and episode breakdowns. And the best part is it's all free.
What?
Oh my God, Griffin's dead. He had a heart attack and died.
Sad, man.
Oh, a ghost is coming out of the mouth, like in the recent motion picture Hellboy.
Yes, that is definitely what this is like. Oh, I'm sorry. I just died. Took a ghostly form in shock at this incredible deal.
It's pretty incredible.
Pretty incredible. We don't even have to offer a promo code.
Nope. Just start watching today at 8hours.com. And now let's get to work reviving Griffin back to life.
Okay, I gotta stuff this.
Gotta finish
back
our
into my
thief
body.
discussion. The cops getting out the thermos. I remember that scene. That's really funny. I'm trying to think.
The scene with the cops in when they take him in and they're all around him and they're like, "You've got to pay us."
Yeah.
That was a little weird.
And they just keep on bringing in another guy and they're like, how about this guy? He's real good at punching.
The punching isn't great.
No, but it's the James Gunn. No, and the other thing is the gunshots at the end. Like the squibs are like.
Oh, I kind of love that though. He loves that. He loves those slightly unreal.
They're very
bullet
unreal.
wounds. Yeah,
and now with all the slow motion,
I love
sort
that.
of like
because Miami Vice kind of ends that way too, with the final shot where you hear the bang, and then you see the guy's head explode, and then you kind of hear the bang. You know what I mean? Like
well, it's a good thing you brought it up because we'll never talk about Miami Vice on this podcast.
Right. Even though we're doing Michael Mann. Okay.
What?
I don't know. And they do the job. He goes to Leo.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Where's my money?" He's handed a small envelope.
Right. And he's
"Where's
like,
the rest of my
here's
money?"
the great news. I've given you 10% of a shopping center and I asked it. No, he's literally like, he's like, I've set up an S Corp for you.
He starts talking about S Corps. I'm like, has this guy got an illegal Zoom or something? Jesus. And Frank's just got that whole thing where he's like, I can see your money is in my money's in your pocket, which is the yield of my labor.
Yeah, my sweat.
Right, and Leo's like, join a union. It's rude.
Right. I want my end.
And Frank,
he wants his end.
Reacts.
And you know what's interesting is end has two meanings here. His back end of their financial agreement, but also he wants an end to his career as a thief.
Thief.
You're looking at me.
I wanted you to say thief too.
Trotsky leaves it as, how dare you bring a piece into my house?
Yeah. Well, gun. I keep saying gun.
Yeah.
Con. Frank.
Yeah.
He maybe could not react to every speed bump in life by pulling out a gun and pointing it at someone's head.
I agree with that. But he goes home to Tuesday Weld and
problem solver.
He is a problem solver.
He's like, pack it up, get out of here. Here's the plan.
Fuck you.
20 the first month, 25 the second month, 30 the third month.
He's a little upset that while she was sleeping, he woke her up in the middle of the night and told her, you're not my wife anymore.
I will never see you again. Take the baby and leave.
Right, and she's like, I love you. I'm in with you on this.
Right, and he's like, I understand that, and that's why this much money is going to be delivered to you, and I will never see you again. Now get out of here. I'm going to blow the house up.
And then she has the great line where she's like, this isn't some erector set where you can take apart the pieces and put it back in a box.
Right. Well, that's a great line.
That's
he
how
says,
Michael
but
Mann,
I'm setting some C4.
Yeah, right.
Yes, exactly. No, but that's it.
Right.
The heat's around the corner.
Right. So then he explodes every place he's ever been to.
And they
his home,
accidentally
his businesses, his high school.
What if he's like
local pharmacy?
Yeah, I'm blowing up my dry cleaner. They know too much. They know I wear slacks.
Expensive slacks.
Yeah.
My silk shirts. One of these explosions, they did not intend to blow up the building, but they damaged the building so hard that the building had to be demolished.
It was the house.
Yeah. Yeah. They built a false front that they were going to blow up, but they blew it up.
Wow.
Which and the punching on that explosion in particular.
Yeah.
Those are some good explosions.
Yeah.
I mean, they really blew those things up.
Has Belushi already died at this point?
Yeah, they shoot him with a shotgun.
Right. He goes, they're setting him up. He's holding Belushi in the back of the car shop. And then Belushi dies quite a death.
It's brutal.
Right. That's when he goes into overdrive mode. That's when he goes into zero mode.
That's when it's like over.
Right. They feed his body to something. They put him in a tank.
Yeah.
And they talk about how, do you want to end up someone's burger?
Right.
And I just really like that.
I think it's a deep fryer, right?
Yeah, he says you're going to be fed to people in Wimpy's like the next day. Like,
right.
Leo suddenly just unleashes a monologue that's like insane.
Yeah, we have a new special menu item, Belushi nuggets. Fried Belushi sandwich. It's a pickle, slice of tomato, 2 leaves of lettuce, and a hunk of fried Belushi.
I mean,
between 2 brioche bun.
He is full of bologna.
He's full of bologna.
No, you got to put it on like WEC or whatever, right? Like, you got to put him on like a good American bun.
It's a submarine.
Yeah, put him on a Kaiser roll.
Yeah. Potato roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Frank goes to Leo's house. And I remember the first time I saw this movie, which is years ago.
You were 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This was your 5th birthday party.
Daddy, I want to watch Thief. Imagine showing this movie to a child.
I'll tell this. I mean,
this guy seems stressed out.
My brother James's, what would have been 9th or 10th birthday party was watching Ali with his friends.
You've mentioned that, right? Because he loved boxing so much. He loved Ali so much.
Right. So my brother James's birthday was James watching Ali for the 5th time and a bunch of kids on their Game Boys.
No kidding.
And he was just like, oh my God, Marvin Peoples is so good in this. And the kids were just like, I want like fucking Gushers. What is this party?
He didn't even have Gushers?
He didn't have Gushers.
No, he blew it.
Maybe a pizza pie.
A Gusher. No, I just thought at the end, the first time I was like, okay, Frank's going to die. This is it. This is his blaze of glory.
Right.
Maybe he'll get through Farina.
Right.
But he's not getting through everyone.
Right.
But he gets through everyone.
He gets through everyone.
He shoots them all dead.
I find
And then he puts his gun away and he's like, what a day.
He shoots them all the way to death.
All the way dead.
Yeah.
I guess it's justifiable that the cops are protecting the house.
Mm-hmm.
But I just find it really weird that all the mobsters, like the mobsters are like hanging out and like asking if the other one wants milk.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Right.
It's very weird.
Yeah. Farina's got a big coat on.
Yep.
His coat is so broad he almost looks like David Byrne. Stop making sense. Like he's got this big black boxy coat.
He's a boxy boy.
It's filled with squibs.
Mm-hmm.
And he dies all the way dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then James Caan just kind of walks off with his hands in his pockets.
Yes, that's what I love.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I feel like 95% of these movies would end with him dying. I mean, obviously the classic Hollywood movies would, because like crime has to pay.
Right.
And, and you'd be like, well, he won some and he lost some, and that was how it goes. He settled
his score, but he didn't make it out alive.
But in this, like, it's so much better because he's just sort of cursed with, like, what are you going to do now,
What do you
buddy?
do now? You murdered, like, 10 people in one night.
Yeah. You were not nice to your wife.
Told your wife and your son you're never going to see them
You
again.
lost one baby.
Yeah. Could you imagine what a field
somewhere
day
else?
the woman at the adoption agency would have with this movie? Be like, yeah, well, thank you.
You're right. Do you remember that guy last week was so mean?
He was so uppity, like I was judgmental.
If I was from the suburbs.
Wait till you hear this. Guy leaves the kid, murders like 10 people.
And he burnt out like half the city.
Yeah, he blew up everywhere. He blew this place up because he came here
like
once.
A snob. He tried to make it sound like I was a snob.
Oh boy, Frank. What a movie.
Frank Thief.
What a good movie.
Frank G. Thief.
What isn't that a good movie?
It's a
Ben?
good movie.
It was an outstanding movie.
Ben
I'm
loves that movie.
so happy I got to experience it.
You know what's the most annoying thing about this movie?
What?
It was nominated for a Razzie.
For what?
This is going to hurt you. You're
Best
going to be
score?
upset.
Worst
score.
Yeah.
That's just rude.
That was voted at a time where now this music again is like so in vogue. Like it feels.
I know. I guess back then
right.
people were like, "Oh, like
This is
corny,
chintzy,
electronic music,
people
lame."
weren't super into the Tangerine Dream scores. Because there was
They're
even like there was
so
shit like
good.
Legend where like they took it away from Ridley Scott and had Tangerine Dream recorded, and everyone always the fucking Tangerine.
Oh,
Dream.
I mean, I love the what's it, Sorcerer. That's an incredible score. I love those scores.
Were you able to find box office for this movie?
Not really.
Interesting.
Box Office Mojo's data only goes back to 1982, the year before this year.
Okay.
The numbers.
I forgot that Near Dark was Tangerine Dream too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
And the numbers has box office data, but it's like incomplete.
Ooh.
And so like you can't. But I'm going to give you. Well, first let's do 1981's top 5 movies.
Okay, I was going to suggest that.
Yes, let's do that. I'll tell you what was number 1 the week this came out. It was Omen 3: The Final Conflict.
Okay.
The one with Sam Neill, where he's like running for president.
Oh,
maybe?
when he's grown up, Damien.
Yes.
Okay. That's the 5th highest grossing film of 81?
No, that was number 1 when this came out. That movie made a cool 20 mil.
Oh.
Thief made, $11 million at the box office, which
better than I thought.
Yeah, adjusted for inflation is 37.
Yeah.
Not hurting anyone.
No.
And Jerry Bruckheimer produced it.
That was the other thing I was very surprised
Young Bruck.
As I'm yawning.
And what else was I going to say? It came out. The Postman Always Rings Twice had just come out. The Bob Raffleson.
Yeah.
And we've also got something called Eyes of a Stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that. All right. So the number 1 movie of 1981 made $212 million in 1981.
In 81.
So adjusted, that is $700 million.
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Correct. Yeah. Steven Spielberg's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
A lot of money. That's a lot of money for a movie to make.
Pretty good movie.
Pretty good movie.
The best one.
I love Last Crusade.
I haven't seen that one in a long time. I guess maybe we should do those for our franchise.
Yeah, I like that one because it's kind of like a Buster Keaton movie.
It's a Buster?
It's a Buster. It's very hijinksy.
It is. I love all the
But I think it's well orchestrated physical comedy.
Anyway, so that thing just made more than anyone ever dared make. Right? I mean, that's just beyond all measure.
Was it number 1 of all time at that point? Did it topple Star Wars, or was it like number 2?
It didn't come close to toppling Star Wars. Let's find out, though. All-time domestic.
Star Wars has already had a couple re-releases at this
I know,
point,
but
too.
Star Wars, the thing about Star Wars is that it made, it made 307.
Wow.
In 77.
Wow.
Which is adjusted is 1.2 billion domestic.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing like Star Wars.
No, there's nothing like Star Wars.
All right. Number 2, though, because this is where it gets interesting, is not a franchise movie.
What was the final gross?
$119 million.
It's a big gap, almost $100 million less.
Right. But still, I mean, a colossal hit.
It's not a franchise movie.
No.
Pointedly.
But, it is a family movie.
It's a family movie.
It's got family members in it.
It's got It's got real family members?
Yes.
Is it On Golden Pond?
Oh, yes, it is.
What
Mark
a hit.
Rydell's On Golden Pond, the most boring movie ever made.
What a massive hit.
Which won a shit ton of Oscars.
Yeah.
At least 3, I think.
Right. It was the only year where the Oscars gave out an award for best movie ever.
Actor, actress, and screenplay.
Yeah.
Henry Fonda, Katharine Hepburn. You got Jane Fonda.
Yeah, old fart.
I mean, I've never seen it. Isn't it just like a bunch of people at like a lake house?
I have no compulsion to watch that film.
On Golden Pond.
We'll do a Mark Rydell series eventually.
What else did he make?
What did he make? I don't know. Maybe like Neil Simon.
He made Neil Simon.
He made The Rose.
He made The Rose. He made For the Boys.
Yeah.
He made The River with Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
The Fox.
He's very good in Long Kiss Goodnight. Not Long Kiss Goodnight. I'm sorry. Long Goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
He's very good in that as like a mobster.
Mahdi.
Yeah.
All right.
As an actor.
Number 3 is a sequel.
Number 3 is a sequel.
It made 108.
Is it a Star Trek?
No.
Interesting. Made 108 and it was a sequel.
That's right.
There aren't a ton of sequels at this point in time.
No. You know what else it is? Well, I would give it away.
Fuck.
That would give it away.
That would give it away? Give it away. Give it away. Give it away.
It's the kind of movie they make all the time now.
Oh, was
back then, still a novelty.
Superman 2?
Superman 2.
Superman 2. Dick Lester.
Richard Lester.
A
the
Lester
director
picture.
Of A Hard Day's Night.
And the director of Superman 2.
And the director of Superman 2, which is okay.
I like Superman 2 a lot.
It's got Zod.
I like it a lot.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Superman 2 is pretty good.
It's got Superman and Lois Lane fucking.
They do.
That's the one where the first one's the one where he flies backwards
correct.
and resets.
Yeah, that's
the
first one. Number 4.
Second one, he fights the evil version of himself, right? There's like
that's the third one.
Fuck, I get him all.
That's Red Kryptonite.
Right.
The second one's Zod.
Right.
Kneel.
Right.
Third one's a comedy.
I'm kneeling for the listeners.
Number four. Number 4 is a comedy.
Number 4 is a comedy?
Big comedy.
Big comedy? Stir Crazy?
No. 1 star. How do you describe this movie?
It's an epic.
It's an epic?
No.
Or like a...
Is it a period comedy?
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Number
this is
4.
a fucking movie that I love.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know you love this movie.
This is like...
I mean, makes sense.
This is a real Ben character-driven movie.
Interesting. It's 1 comedy star?
Yeah, 1 star. 1 star. And I guess this is his big movie star break. I mean, he's a big deal in, especially in his home country.
In his home country?
But I feel like this is the beginning of him as a movie star.
In his home country?
No, I take it back. It's not. I take it back.
In his home country? Is it an English-speaking country?
It is an English-speaking country.
Is he from England?
He's from London.
Is this Dudley Moore?
Yes.
Is it Arthur?
It's Arthur.
So what, 10 had come before
10
this?
is in 79. I forgot about that. For some reason, I thought 10 was after. I mean, he'd done the movies with Peter Cook, like he'd done Bedazzled.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, right.
Tuesday Weld was married to Dudley Moore.
Oh, really?
Is that right?
And they said, what do you think of Dudley Moore? And she went, he's an asshole.
Dudley Moore had 4 wives.
Yeah. One of them was Tuesday Weld.
Yeah, you're right. 75 to 80. So they were on the rocks at this point.
Dudley Moore was kind of the...
Reference to Arthur,
no,
too.
we got it.
Wow, you didn't like that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't like that?
Not at all.
Okay.
Dudley Moore was kind of the Pete Davidson of his time.
You mean where like everyone's like, how does this guy keep landing these ladies? Right, yeah.
And especially like Dudley Moore was like shorter than me.
He was a short man.
He was a short man with a bulbous nose.
But everything about Peter Cook and Dudley Moore is always like that. Dudley Moore was kind of like, yeah, all right, whatever, mate. Right. And Peter Cook's like, fuck you. Right. I'm seething with rage.
It's very weird that he just became like a total leading man in the 80s.
Right. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Dudley Moore, Arthur. That's number 4.
Take responsibility.
He's drunk.
A big inspiration for me.
What was the epic you were talking about, Ben?
Number 5?
Number 7?
6.
Oh, yeah, right. The Cannonball Run.
Oh.
Big epic. It is all kinds of...
Okay, number 5. What's number 5?
It's a comedy. It's with a star you love.
A star I love? 1 star?
It has...
I mean, it's got other guys.
Is it Stripes?
Wow.
I was going to say it has the best opening.
Yeah, I mean, it's the classic Freaks and Geeks
You and I
thing.
always talk about
the first half.
No one can tell you what happens in the second half of Stripes. That movie essentially ends after, and that's the facts, Jack. When they do their test. Then when it becomes about the SUV, right?
Yeah, no, the armored vehicle.
Right, right. Then it's just like, what is this movie? Yeah.
Is that a Ramis? No, it's a Reitman.
It's a Reitman. Right. That was the big thing was Reitman had sold it as Cheech and Chong Go to the Army.
Right.
He was trying to direct more. It was sold as a Cheech and Chong movie. Then Cheech and Chong dropped out.
Right.
He had it set up, and he was like, could I rewrite it as a Bill Murray movie? Bill Murray was like, I don't want to do it. And he was like, what if I cast the other guy as Harold Ramis? Knowing that Bill Murray loved Harold Ramis at that point in time.
Huh.
And he was like, Harold will rewrite it for you, and Harold will be the other guy, and you'll have fun because you'll play with Harold.
Right.
So it was like Harold Ramis became a movie star.
Biggest hit of the year.
Because that was how they could get Bill Murray to agree.
Wow. But some other big movies, Cannonball Run, Chariots of Fire, the Best Picture winner, For Your Eyes Only, with the Bond movie, The Four Seasons, that's Alan Alda.
Alan Alda picture.
What is that?
Alan Alda directed like 8 movies. It's about a hotel or something. I don't know.
It sounds like California Suite. Another Alan Alda.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's not about it. Maybe it's a romance or something. Who is it? Him and Carol Burnett?
You know what?
What?
They're an upper middle class married couple in New York City.
Wow.
Knock me over with a feather.
An Alda.
And they take some vacations. It's set during 4 vacations.
Oh, wow.
4 seasons. So you got Len Cariou, Rita Moreno, Sandy Dennis.
Could you imagine how hard they would drag that movie today?
Alan Alda's kids play his kids?
Alan Alda was like, so I'm making a movie about white people going on vacations. I cut out all the things in between the vacations.
I gotta see this thing.
It's just 4 vacations with none of the filler of them having responsibilities in life.
This thing was nominated for 4 Golden Globes.
My Alda impression's really bad.
Another one that a lot of people do.
I know.
Or that at least is, he's got an imitable voice, right?
But I found a new keeper today.
What's that?
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, your Nelson's great.
What was the thing I was going to say about SAG Magazine? I don't want to brag, but...
SAG Mag?
SAG Mag.
Is this a SAG Mag brag?
Yeah. The Screen Actors Guild magazine.
Did you do that, Ben? Yes. Okay.
The Screen Actors Guild magazine, which is one of the best magazines to line the bottom of your pet carrier with.
Sure.
I just have this one issue in my apartment that I haven't thrown out for some reason that's just sitting on my table. That's a cover story on Alan Alda because I guess he won the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Sure.
And the headline is Alda Way. Alda Way. And every time I'm like cleaning up my apartment, I'm like, I just can't do it. I can't throw it out.
How do you get rid of that?
Alda Way.
Well, that was the 9th highest grosser of this year.
He was a big star.
Over Time Bandits, over Reds, over The Fox and the Hound, over Excalibur, over The Great Muppet Caper. There are some big movies here.
There was
over Halloween 2, Escape from New York.
There was a thing where they quizzed children, and more children recognized Alan Alda than they did Jesus Christ. I swear to God, this was a real thing that happened in the 80s. He was so big, Alda.
It was the biggest TV show, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
He went all the way.
Now he's like a guy who can play like the manager of the insurance agency who tells a guy to do one thing and then isn't in the movie again.
Right, and somehow was third billed.
Right.
Alan Alda's books all have amazing titles. He's written a bunch of just stories for me in show business books.
Never Have Your Dog Stuffed.
Right, one of them's called I Shouldn't Even Be Doing This, right? Or no, that's Bob Newhart's book.
Things I Overheard While Talking to Myself.
That's it.
And the new one, If I Understood You, Would I Have This Look on My Face?
Yeah. All lightly amusing titles. Just very lightly.
We got to do an Alda series. He made 4 movies.
Alda's going in March Madness next year.
Yeah, we're putting him in.
He only made 4?
Only 4.
Joe Tinian, what was that thing called? The politician?
The Seduction of Joe Tinian. He only wrote
He only wrote that. Okay.
That's a Schatzberg movie.
Okay.
And then Sweet Liberty.
Uh-huh.
With Michael Caine, Michelle Pfeiffer, Bob Hoskins. Sounds good.
Huge star, Alan Alda.
And then A New Life.
Yeah.
With Anne Margaret.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. And I guess, and the last one was called Betsy's Wedding. Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy, Madeline Kahn, Joe Pesci, Anthony LaPaglia, Catherine O'Hara, Burt Young, Joey Bishop.
You know what's interesting? Oh, we just ran out of time on the clock.
Wait, but it doesn't like that Joey Bishop's in this movie?
Clearly, it's furious. Alan Alda is like if Chris Pratt left Parks and Rec and became a major A-list movie star through doing mild middle-aged relationship comedies.
That was a niche.
Yeah.
Betsy's Wedding was inspired by the marriage of Alda's daughter, Alda.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. So I want to just tell you...
this is good Michael Mann content, right?
Yeah, no, I'm going to bring it back around.
Right.
Okay? And I think this has been a gentleman's start to Cast of the Podhekins.
Right.
Colon Michael Mansplaining.
Yeah.
James Caan is on Twitter. I did not realize this. He seemed like someone who would not be on Twitter, okay?
Certainly.
So then I looked at his account. He has 8,000 followers. He's verified.
It's him.
Right. I go, how's James Caan on Twitter less than 10,000 followers? And all his tweets were in the last couple of weeks.
Oh,
so I was like, did he just join? No, he's been on since 2013. He just takes years-long gaps in between tweets. Can I read you his first couple tweets?
Can I tell you something?
What?
It's his birthday today.
Today's his birthday?
Happy birthday, James Caan. I just went to his page and the balloons floated up. You know how they do that on their birthday?
On the day we're recording, it is James Caan's birthday. I just want to read his earliest tweets, okay?
Yeah.
August 15th, 2013. There's nothing more boring than an actor talking about acting. Period. End of tweet. Period. Next.
Wait, he wrote those things out? Right, okay.
Next tweet, a month later, September 17th. Don't run after a bus, there'll be another. And don't ever eat fried food. Thank you, Mel Brooks. Not comma. Thank you, Mel Brooks.
Okay.
Period. End of tweet.
Right.
Period.
He likes this end of tweet sort of format.
Watch hashtag Back in the Game tonight at 8:30 on ABC.
I forgot. I think I reviewed that show.
That was a sitcom.
It's where he's like an old baseball coach who like manages a little league team or something. Right. Yeah.
It was like someone has to whatever.
He used to coach the big leagues or whatever. Now he's like with his daughter.
But this tweet is, watch hashtag Back in the Game tonight at 8:30 on ABC. It's very funny and I need the money. End of tweet.
Jimmy!
New next tweet, October 4th. On my lunch break on hashtag Back in the Game while cutting a sandwich, my knife struck something hard. ... It was my thumb. Period. End of tweet. Period. Is James Caan the best at Twitter?
Wait. I'm looking. Did you see 11th November 2013? Go to that one. It's just a couple up.
ABC has decided to can us. I will speak to you from somewhere else down the line. End of show. End of tweet.
Has anyone used Twitter better than this? This is amazing.
Then almost a year later, August 27th. Hi, I think I'm still here. End of tweet.
Jesus Christ.
Then he doesn't post for another 3 years. February 2017, my youngest son, Rich Homie Caan, senior season, end of tweet. He's posting just a highlight reel of his son. Then he retweets his own post.
Rich Homie Caan.
Then he retweets other people posting it.
Yeah.
And then doesn't post for another 2 years.
Right.
Until this February. Hi, end of tweet, period. March 6th, rainy day in LA mood, end of tweet. And it's just a photo of James Caan looking handsome at a young age. And now he's posting a lot of pictures. Like now he's going down memory lane. He's posting an Al Hirschfeld that he's in.
Some rollerball.
Posting him with Hugh Hefner.
Misery gif.
Brian's song, hashtag Brian's song. What would be your first thought if you showed up to a wedding and saw me standing up there officiating the ceremony? Hashtag that's my boy. Just a production photo from Adam Sandler's That's My Boy. Fingers tired. End of tweet. For today. So yes, James Caan is the best at Twitter anyone's ever been at Twitter. He posted a picture from Thief saying, Willie, my dear friend. That's pretty sweet.
Wow.
And these are all, now we're just reading things he's posted in the last 3 weeks.
I know.
Now he's active.
One with Pacino and De Niro.
Now he's tweeting up a storm. He's retweeting people's birthday wishes.
There's a gif of him getting ready to beat the shit out of Talia Shire's husband in The Godfather where he like throws the stick at him.
He literally has posted or retweeted 40 different things in the last hour.
I know.
It lasts 4 hours.
Wait, really? Oh yeah, he's just gone wild.
He's gone wild in the last 4 hours.
Yeah, he really has. Well, it's because it's his birthday. He's responding to like every birthday tweet.
Right. Okay, so here's...
Tweet at him!
Well, no, here's what I'm going to say. When this episode comes out, I'm going to tweet at him. I'm going to wish him a happy birthday.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart. But when this episode comes out, I want all the blankies to tweet at James Caan telling him to signal boost our episode.
Sure.
Because he seems to be quick with the retweet.
He's happy to signal boost. I mean, I got to be honest. He has less followers than the Blank Check podcast account.
I mean, Ange could maybe punch up his account a little bit.
I mean, no offense to him. I'm just saying.
He could use an Ange.
He could use an Ange. Yeah.
Hey, and on that note, thank you all for listening.
Oh, could we share final thoughts?
Final thoughts of rules.
Thief's so fucking good.
Yeah, movie fucks.
Caan runs the jewels.
Caan runs the jewels.
Oh, well, that's why I wanted to share final thoughts.
Caan runs the jewels, and he's punching David.
The craziest thing is, this might be one of my least favorite Michael Mann movies.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's insane. That's why I wanted to do this guy.
Yeah, you love this guy.
I love this guy.
You love this guy.
Yep.
Caan runs the jewels.
Yeah, don't pinch me. Thanks to Anne Trugoff for her social media. James Caan, you should hire her. Thanks to Lane Montgomery for a theme song. Joe Bowen, Pat Reynolds for artwork. Go to blankies.reddit.com for some real nerdy shit. Go to TeePublic for some real nerdy shirts. Remember to subscribe to Blank Check special features on Patreon.
Hell yeah.
And it always.
And it always.
And it always.
And it always goes.
And it always goes with me saying, and as always.
Right.
I'm Willie Nelson.
Thieving your jewels.
Don't want to die in prison. Also don't want to pay my taxes.